Teamsters Union insisting most of those who walked out are not actually Amazon employees, but third-party delivery drivers. And Amazon says the strike will not affect operations. Luigi Mangione, the accused killer of United Healthcare's CEO, is in court right now in Pennsylvania for 2 hearings. The first on gun and other charges. Fox's Brian Yennis is there.
The second hearing is at the Blair County Courthouse here. That is going to be about his extradition, where we are told to expect him to waive that extradition, which means we expect him to immediately be moved from Altoona to Manhattan, New York.
And that's where Mangione's already been indicted for murder. After all the drone sightings in recent weeks, mostly in New Jersey, the FAA is temporarily banning flying most drones over parts of that state. The economy grew a little more than first thought in the third quarter. The GDP increase has just been revised higher, up to 3.1%. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He's been demoted. Radar showing a little bit of rain, but still it's cloudy and 31 downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:02. State House Democrats have new leadership as more accusations of sexual harassment have surfaced against State Senator Greg Taylor. 6 women now have accused Taylor of inappropriate behavior.
I'm denying everything that has been alleged that I have not talked to my caucus about. My caucus knows everything that I've talked to them about.
He was removed as State Senate Minority Leader by Democrats on Wednesday. Bloomington Senator Shelley Yoder was then given that job. Revenge porn is the charge against a man in Boone County. Sheriff's deputies there say Dylan Kinslow threatened a few of his ex-girlfriends and then sent intimate videos and pictures of them to other people. That's a crime in Indiana, and Kinslow was arrested on Wednesday. Robbing a gas station and shooting one of its employees is why a man from Indianapolis will spend 13 years in federal prison. Harrison Silcox reports.
George Tracy wanted to do a mobile gas station in Indianapolis with a gun in late November 2 years ago. Court documents say security cameras caught Tracy shooting an employee in the leg and stealing $200 from the register. Police would later find the gun he used and the clothes that Tracy wore during the robbery at his home. Tracy later then pled guilty, and he'll spend the next 13 years and 3 months in federal prison for the crime. Once he's out, he'll have 3 years of supervised release. Harrison Silcox, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Congresswoman Victoria Spartz is not planning to serve on committees or participate in the Republican caucus once the new Congress convenes.
I want to make sure that I put pressure on my leadership to govern and deliver on the great ideas that Elon has, that Vivek has, that President Trump has, and a lot of great people in the administration.
Spartz on CNN Wednesday. The forecast is calling for some snow possible tomorrow in South Bend, while Indiana takes on Notre Dame in the college football playoff. Hoosiers head coach Curt Cignetti.
I hope it snows 1.5 feet. We have a Canadian quarterback. Did you see him throw the ball against Purdue? I mean, this guy grew up like in the frigid north.
Kickoff tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Traffic on the 5s, Matt Baer.
What's up, Kurt? Looking at the crash southbound 465 after East 56th Street. It is blocking 2 center lanes, stopping traffic to Fawn Creek for a 15-minute delay. Crash on the exit ramp from eastbound 465 to Allisonville Road, a little bit slow to the White River. And a crash westbound 74 before Thompson Road. That's blocking the left lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to Acton. Traffic sponsored by PureTalk.com. Stop overpaying for your cell phone plan. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month. Under 5G network. Dial pound 250 as a keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's full-service jewelry store.
The forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy skies, colder temperatures today, a high of 38. Mostly cloudy this evening. Scattered snow showers arrive after midnight, a low down to 32. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
31 and cloudy on Monument Circle. I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Thursday, December 19th. It is 7 minutes after 9. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC. My name is Casey Daniels. That is Jerry Lopez. He's in for Rob Kendall today. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate you.
I appreciate it.
Let's get into it. The continuing resolution blew up on Speaker Johnson last night. It is 1,547 pages long, $110 billion plus. That is a continuing resolution. Let me say that again. That's continuing resolution. That's not continuing. That's adding on. It's meant to avert the government shutdown, but let's just talk about some of the things that it does include. Oh, yeah, the pay raise for members of Congress going from $174,000 a year to $243,000 per year. Also includes, hey, a new football stadium in Washington, D.C. 72 pages of pandemic preparedness and response policy.
Yeah, there's nothing like shutting down the government for a football team that can't keep the same name, right?
Yeah.
Like it's absolutely nuts that a congressional pay raise is part of this.
$40,000. Nobody else got a pay raise, right?
No, and if they shut down the government, they still get paid.
Right, exactly. So they just want their money, don't they? Also includes a renewal of the Global Engagement Center, which is currently being sued for censorship. The whole thing is ridiculous. They better put the coffee on as they plan on having an all-nighter tonight. You know they're going to be talking about it all day today. They have had all year to get this done. They waited until the last second, tried to pull a fast one, got caught, and now they're promising what? We're going to change. We're going to do a clean bill this time. We promise. Well, you better, or you're all getting primaried. They have absolutely no respect for you or your money. Yeah, and that's clear.
And what would happen if we didn't have Elon Musk and Vivek right now?
Yeah, I've been hearing some people coming out saying this oligarch, unelected oligarch. Well, thank gosh somebody read the darn thing, because it's over 1,500 pages full of pork. And it's exactly what we said yesterday. Pet projects and pork. And it's clear that they're not looking out for you. So at least Elon and Vivek are. Here is, actually, it's Vivek. Let's take this from the top, Jerry. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here he is. He came out against the continuing resolution.
Congress is about to pass a bill that blows away your taxpayer money, but they made it over 1,500 pages long so you wouldn't read it. I did you a favor. I read it for you.
It's supposed to be about keeping government operations open and providing disaster relief aid to hurricane victims, which I'm sympathetic to. But if you read the bill carefully, it contains pay raises for members of Congress, and I'm not making this up, an expansion of their federal health benefits. It contains all kinds of special interests and pork funding, including opening up a new stadium in Washington, D.C. It renews the Global Engagement Center, which is a key node of the censorship industrial complex. And the worst part is, they didn't want you to know about any of it, and that's why they made this a last-minute jam job. The reason I'm co-heading DOGE is I think we need outsiders to bring actual accountability to Washington, D.C. So feel free to call your congressman and let him know how you feel about it.
I'm curious, do you think he really read it, or did he put it through AI?
I don't care. As long as somebody's looked over all the pages, I'm good with it. I mean, at where we're at today, put it on the internet, let everybody look at it through AI.
Yeah. It's like they released it late in the middle of the night under a veil of darkness because they don't want anybody to really see what's in there. And let's just get it done. And, you know, everybody is saying, no, Donald Trump said, do not pass this. Elon, Vivek, everybody coming out saying no. And here's the difference between a continuing resolution and an omnibus bill. The CR is supposed to be a continuation, spending at previous levels, right? this omnibus has everything in it. It's a combination of appropriation bills, appropriate funding, new levels, and all of this right before Donald Trump is going to come in. So this will then fall on him. Speaker Johnson, he said that Elon Musk told me he doesn't like the spending bill. I told him I don't either, but we have to get it done. Well, why do you have to get this omnibus bill done? Let's be honest. It's not a continuing resolution. It's completely add on everything. Here he is arguing why he wants the CR to pass for now.
Well, I was communicating with Elon last night. Elon and Vivek and I are on a text chain together. And I was explaining to them the background of this. And Vivek and I talked last night about almost midnight. And he said, look, I get it. He said, we understand you're in an impossible position. Everybody knows that. Remember, guys, we still have just a razor-thin margin of Republicans. So any bill has to have Democrat votes. They understand the situation. They said, it's not directed to you, Mr. Speaker, but we don't like the spending. I said, guess what, fellas? I don't either. We got to get this done because here's the key. By doing this, we are clearing the decks, and we are setting up for Trump to come in roaring back with the America First agenda. That's what we're going to run with gusto beginning January 3rd when we start the new Congress, when Republicans, again, are in control. And all of our fiscal conservative friends, I'm one of them, will be able to finally do the things that we've been wanting to do for the last couple of years. Right now, Democrats still control the pens, and that's the problem. So we got to get this thing done so we don't have the shutdown, so we get the short-term funding measure, and we get to March where we can put our fingerprints on the spending. That's when the big changes start, and we can't wait to get there.
Their fingerprints are on the spending already, right? People like Senator Todd Young on the previous omnibus. I mean, I've went after him 1,000 times on Twitter going, sir, I know you're a vet. Please explain to me why you would support this bill. Crickets the whole way through.
Yeah. So Mike Johnson's, he doesn't have to do it. Doing nothing is sometimes better than doing just anything. And he's like, we'll change it in March. Do you believe that once the government starts, that they're going to go, okay, now we're going to take all of this away?
I know we voted for the pay raise, but now that it's March, we'll go ahead and move that back to previous numbers.
Right. We're just going to keep it right there. Okay. Do you remember this? Let's go back to Mike Johnson, September 2024, and then current. This is one clip that has two segments in it. This is what he said before, and this is what he's saying now.
But overall, with the CR, as our leader just noted, we have broken the Christmas Omni, and I have no intention of going back to that terrible tradition. So there won't be a Christmas omnibus. As somebody asked me in the hallway a little while ago, will there be many buses? We don't want any buses. We're not going to do any buses, okay? And we got to get through this. So look, everybody understands the necessity. It is not palatable. This is the sausage-making part of legislation that nobody likes, but we're governing, and we'll pick it up in January and start a brand new day for America.
There's 90 days between those two statements.
Right. September to December. First, he says, no buses. We broke it. We broke the Christmas omnibus. And then he says, well, we have to get it done. So by the end of the day yesterday, he said he's considering Plan B, which is a clean continuing resolution, and that they're going to deal with other issues later on when Trump is in office. Okay, well, that sounds like at least a better deal. And Elon Musk tweeted out, and he said, any member of the House or Senate who votes for this outrageous spending bill deserves to be voted out in 2 years. So he's encouraging, you know what? Primary these people. If they pass this, they don't deserve to be in office. They're clearly not listening to the American people. And he said that he would help. He would help fund anybody who wants to primary anybody who votes for this. So Representative Kamek, she's from Florida, she said that the continuing resolution deal is incredibly damaging within the House GOP ranks. And she went on to question whether Johnson would win the speaker's race.
Listen, I hope that there are no problems with the speaker's race. We don't have time for that. But the fact remains that this package is doing incredible damage within the conference. And I've already seen one of my colleagues today make a statement that he won't be supporting Speaker Johnson. I hope that we can work through this because Americans deserve far better than personality conflicts and temper tantrums.
Do you have faith in Johnson?
I think that Mike Johnson is in a very bad place, and we're going to continue to work forward to get the best package possible. But as it stands right now, this deal is a no-go for me.
Okay, Victoria Spartz also came out and said it's a no-go for her as well. But there's $3 million in this bill for molasses inspections. Molasses inspections.
To keep the government running.
Yeah, to keep the government running. Also, defining music tourism. Not sure what music tourism is.
Where have we gotten as a country?
But how does that keep the government open?
Yeah, where have we gotten as a country where we put this into government funding?
Mm-hmm.
Right? We need to keep the government open. Also, we need money for molasses.
There's so much stuff in there that's not a continuing resolution. They're talking about, okay, so it removes the word offender and replaces it with justice-involved individual. So not only is there a ton of spending in this bill, it's gone woke as well. J.D. Vance had some meetings with Mike Johnson last night, and he was asked about it by reporters.
Should Speaker Johnson be reelected? Would you support a clean CR?
Well, what the president believes is we should support a clean CR so long as it contains a debt limit increase. That's the position of the president, and that's what we're going to try to push for.
Are you supporting a government shutdown then?
Have a good night, guys. Thanks.
Did you speak to Speaker Johnson directly? Did you communicate this announcement? Should be reelected, Mr. Vance.
Okay.
I mean, the vast majority of these Republicans won on the back of Donald Trump. So whatever he wants, that's what they need to do. Step in line. It's not about you. It's about the American people.
It is the Kendall Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC. And coming up, Matt Baer is going to join us.
Hammer and Nigel.
Donald Trump has invited President Xi to the inauguration. Your thoughts, Nigel?
It's total power move.
This is what I expect. On the day of the inauguration, he forces President Xi to eat McDonald's. Like when he brought RFK Jr. into his cabinet, has to sit down and eat a Big Mac. Like, wouldn't you love to see President Xi sitting down eating a Big Mac?
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
What does the joy of Christmas mean to you? A gift? Time with family? Decorations and traditions? At Shepherd Community, the joy of Christmas is learning to read, feeling safe and loved, finding a stable job, and having a community that cares. Shepherd gives its neighbors gifts of joy and hope for a brighter future. You can give the joy of Christmas to neighbors living in poverty, not just at the holidays, but all year long. Visit caringatchristmas.org/give. That's caringatchristmas.org/give.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that will say, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Hey, holiday heroes. It's a special time of year at Shane Company. As a family business for 4 generations, we know firsthand that fine jewelry is the gift that says it all. From the engagement ring that says, you're the one, to the diamond tennis bracelet that says, thank you for being you. We have the widest selection of fine jewelry gifts, in stock and ready to take home. Come pick out a pair of hand-matched diamond stud earrings or a necklace with a colorful gemstone. Check out our new Bloom collection, one of owner Tom Shane's favorites this year, featuring stunning sapphires, emeralds, or rubies. At Shane Company, every gift and every price range is crafted to our high-quality standards. We have jewelers working in every store to bring your gifts to life, making sure rings fit just right, setting center stones and engagement rings by hand, and engraving your pieces to make your gifts even more special. Your gifts will always be protected with our unmatched free lifetime warranty. Visit shaneco.com and come see us in store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
A pilot program using speeding cameras on I-70 in Hancock County in Greenfield is going to move to the I-69 and I-465 interchange in northeast Indianapolis. This is coming in January. And to tell us all about it, WIBC's Matt Bear, traffic beast. Good morning.
Rawr. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me. And
Yeah.
Casey, Jerry, good to see you. How you doing?
So tell us everything you know. You talked to NDOT yesterday.
Yes.
Tell us everything you know about this topic first.
We had a long, thorough conversation with NDOT yesterday about these speed cameras that are going up in this construction zone on the northeast side. It's called ClearPath, and that's the redesign of 69 and 465. Big interchange, and it's going to be done in the next year. But the problem is there's a lot of speeding happening in this construction zone, and we do have an elevation in incidents there as far as crashes and stalls, so they're activating these speed cameras next month. And when exactly next month, we're not sure, but they are going to be up. And what they do is if you're going, like you said, 11 miles per hour over the speed limit, which is 45 in this construction zone. So if I do the math, 56 miles per hour, that's when the camera will take a picture of my license plate. And
so it's based
possibly
off the license plate. So say Jerry's daughter is driving Jerry's car. Jerry's going to get the ticket.
I hope you don't have any points, Jerry.
There's no way for me to fight that, right?
Well, yeah, I'm sure you can fight it. Everybody's due their day of court of law. But, I mean, the process itself, the legal process, the evidence would be, okay, we have the license plate. You're the owner of the car. You cannot prove that you are not the driver. So I don't know how you do. It's a very good point, yeah.
Okay, so the speeding penalties include a penalty-free warning for the first incident of speeding of 11 miles per hour or over. 11 seems... Is that arbitrary or is that a specific number? Was there
it's
any?
Totally arbitrary. I believe
Just like
so,
everything else, right?
Just like our liquor law on Sundays. Noon to 8. Where did we come up with that noon to 8 number exactly? Somebody thought of it.
Yeah, just like social distancing, right? It's just whatever. Here's what we picked. Now there is a $75 fine for your second violation, and then it goes up to $150 for any subsequent violations. The speed limit in the construction zone is between 40 and 45 miles per hour. Now, I was recently driving in that area, and there's a sign up there that says this is a high crash area, slow down. So they're trying to warn people. But now we've got the speeding cameras. Are they going to be operational 24/7?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it going to be turned off like, 1 a.m., 2 a.m.?
No. These are full-time cameras. We're going to put them to work, these cameras. They're working for the state. They're going to earn their money.
That puppy's going to look like a strobe light on day one.
It's going to be pretty fantastic. One thing I want everybody to keep in mind, a couple of things here that are really important. First, once the cameras launch, sometime January, I'm thinking early January. We'll let you know, of course, at WIBC Traffic, Matt and Traffic, all those things we do. But once they launch, there will be a 30-day grace period. Like, if you do get a fine, you won't get a fine. You'll get a note in the mail that says, hey, you were going too fast through this construction zone. So there's going to be a 30-day grace period for everybody where you won't exactly start getting the jacket. You won't go on the record.
How are people going to be informed? Is it like through the mail?
Yeah, through the mail.
Get an email?
You get something in the mail. And then once that 30 days is over, you do get the warning, then the $75 fine, then the $150 fine. There will be signs posted as we come up towards 69. It's going to say, warning, you're entering. I don't know what it's going to say. Hopefully something like slow down, you're in a speed zone, or you could lose money. Something to that effect, but there will be signs telling us that we are approaching this camera speed enforced zone.
Okay, so you said 30-day grace period. That makes me believe this construction zone is going to be there for a while.
It's going to be there until the end of next year. It's, It's a monster rebuild case. We won one. A couple of weeks ago, they reopened the Rams 69 and 82nd Street, and that's huge for the people in Fishers and Castleton, but it's still a kerfuffle up there on the northeast side with that 69 465 interchange and the volume that interchange takes. We knew it was going to be a big job. We knew they were saying at the end of 2025. As far as we know, they are still on schedule. I am going to have a formal update on this sometime next week, probably right after Christmas, so we can talk more about that. But it's a pain, man. It's like the redesign of the North Split. It's awful. People, when you lose merging interstates, everybody takes the reroute, and then you have gridlock on the city streets. So it's tough on the northeast side getting around and commuting.
Is there any chance we can add the traffic cone to the state flag?
I think that's a great idea. I love that.
Hey, speaking of state flag, I read something. I think Andrew Island put it out on Facebook or somewhere that they're going to bring the Crossroads of America back to the state sign. Is that true? Is that happening?
No, I haven't heard that, but I think it's a fantastic idea. Anything Hoosier you can do with that, I would love to see a way to incorporate the IMS somehow. And I was told, well, the IMS is an Indianapolis thing. It's not an Indiana thing. And I'm like, no. IMS is an Indiana thing. It's a track in Indianapolis, and we can all celebrate the IMS together. So I think it would be cool to have like a standard IMS plate for Indiana, or maybe something like that with the flag. I don't know. I'm crazy though.
When you talked to NDOT, did you ask them if they were going to use the speed cameras across the entire state?
Here's the deal on that.
Expand that.
I did. We talked about this, and she didn't specify which parts of town they were looking at, but the state of Indiana can have 4 of these zones active at the same time. Only 4.
Okay.
We have 1 in Hancock County. We have 1 getting ready to launch in Clear Path. That makes 2, obviously. Where the other 2 go, I don't know necessarily. Maybe another point I-70 near the North Split could be useful. We won't need them on the southwest side with I-69 and that construction finally wrapping up. The interstate is done. 465 in that area just got done. Well, this week. This week, in fact. I'm getting my construction projects confused. But, yeah, so we won't need them down there. But a 3rd and a 4th speed zone, camera zone could be added here sometime in the near future. Absolutely.
Okay, now they say that they may expand if it's effective. How do they determine if it's effective? Like less crashes or more tickets?
Here's the thing, and again, we talked about this, and I said, asked, I believe, I think I might be paraphrasing here, if the cameras were effective in Hancock County. And the thing is, the goal, in my mind, if speeds are reduced, less crashes happen. Okay, that's to me, and I don't want to believe everything I'm told. So when NDOT says everything's, this really helps, it's a great use of your tax money. To me, the logic, even bypassing all that, says slower speeds mean less crashes, and therefore I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Does NDOT have any plans to keep me on my toes and just change signs like they did on 69?
No, I hope not.
That was the craziest thing.
What happened?
69 to 465 west, and they just flipped all the lanes.
Yeah, that was for the new configuration with the ClearPath project, the redesign.
That's $174 million at work.
I mean, you
there,
want to see
Jerry.
IMS. People are coming in and out of the. That is nuts up there.
Crash at 13, crash at 13. No, it was part of the reopening of that 69 82nd Street ramp. There was the new lane configuration of southbound 69. And when those things happen, I'll let you know, and I will put them out on Instagram or everything else.
All the platforms.
All the platforms.
Do you have anything amazing coming up?
As far as Christmas, I'm just blessed.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just good. Everything's good. I have great people around me, and it's just, it's if you can be full of love all year long, be full of love for Christmas too.
Yeah, take the spirit of the season with you all year long. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you guys for inviting me. Good to see you, Jerry.
You're the best.
See you,
Matt
Kevin.
Bear, we love you. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
This is Chris with Absolute Comfort. We just want to thank you and your family for business that you've passed to us this year. Our families appreciate everything that you do for us, and we just want to let you know that if you have needs for your man cave or your she shed or whatever the thing is for a family member that you love, we just ask that you give us a call, and we've got some different ideas for you. Have a Merry Christmas.
Absolute Comfort is your Mitsubishi Electric Elite Douglasford dealer.
Deep in the hidden wetlands of Florida, there's a honey so rare, it's only harvested 2 weeks out of the year. Tupelo honey, the gold standard of honey, specially bottled by Smiley Honey.
Here's why Tupelo honey is so special. It never crystallizes. It's diabetic friendly with a low glycemic index. Pure, unfiltered, and natural. Straight from the hive to your table.
Tupelo honey from Smiley Honey, the gold standard of honey.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He's likely headed back. It's cloudy and 32 downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:30. The suspect in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson appeared in court this morning. Luigi Mangione likely waived his extradition rights and will likely be heading back to New York City today. Meanwhile, there's word that the feds may bring their own charges against Mangione. The previous government spending deal failed. Now lawmakers are scrambling scrambling to get a new deal through before tomorrow's deadline.
The final nail in the coffin was on Truth Social, where Donald Trump posted, "Sounds like the ridiculous and extraordinarily expensive continuing resolution plus is dying fast. One of the most unpopular parts was the raise for lawmakers."
Fox's Peter Ducey. Amazon workers are on the picket line. The Teamsters said that workers at Amazon facilities across the country began striking this morning. The union says it's the largest strike against Amazon in U.S. history. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. After significant decreases yesterday, stocks are rebounding this morning. The Dow was up 344 to 43,122. The Nasdaq up 155 to 21,657. And the S&P 500 is up 48 to 5,988. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
As our loved ones age, ensuring their safety at home becomes a top priority. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I'll be right back with some practical things you can do to reduce the possibility of a fall or injury.
Cardon and Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Removing tripping hazards such as rugs and floor clutter is one way to prevent or minimize falls around the home. Another is to position grab bars in the restroom and other common areas where your loved one may need some extra support. Contact your local area agency on aging to inquire about low-cost or free installation services. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Locally owned Cynthia's Hallmark's 4 locations are filled with gifts galore and make last-minute holiday shopping very easy. It's Terry Stacy, and the infamous Christmas Story leg lamp to display in your front window has been a customer favorite this year, and they're back in stock and selling like crazy. So are the infinity mirrors with their fantastic optical effects, another perfect addition to your Christmas display. And for those quick meals you need this time of year, try the Crockstar Dinner Club packets for an easy crockpot meal. I love them. Cynthia's always has the sense of the season with a selection of top candle lines, including Cynthia's favorite Swan Creek candles. Hallmark keepsake ornaments and willow tree ornaments always make beautiful gifts, creating memories every year when they're placed on the tree. Cynthia's Hallmark gift cards, still the best gift of all. Merry Christmas from family-owned Cynthia's Hallmark, 116th and Allisonville Road, 116th and Brook School Road, 96th and Lantern Road, and experience the D56 Village at the world's largest Hallmark store in Greenfield.
Express the heartwarming message of Christmas this year. Let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that special moment that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Senator Rand Paul has announced that he will delay the passage of the massive Omnibus spending bill if it clears the House, and that potentially could lead to the government shutdown if not passed by Friday. And, well, it's okay with me. America voted for a change, right? And it just seems that Congress is not listening. It's just unacceptable. But you know who's really upset about this is Victoria Spartz from our very own 5th District. She said that Speaker Mike Johnson didn't even talk to moderate Republicans before pushing the CR.
Listen, we're divided in government, but we don't have to be ruled by Democrats. Speaker Johnson didn't even talk to moderate Republicans, not just to conservatives. He usually doesn't even care to hear to us. You know, that's unfortunate. He just made a deal, you know, with Democrats, put a bunch of slush funds, what they wanted, put little things that maybe he can try to push some Republicans to vote and try to sell it as a victory, which is really another, you know, Christmas present to Chuck Schumer. And that's what was expected by Republicans. And he's been dishonest in this. And I think at some point, enough is enough. And if we don't start governing the country, it's on calamity course. So I hope next Congress will grow the backbone and start dealing with the swamp, because fiscally the country is really in huge, huge trouble.
So he didn't even meet with his own party to work out the CR.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised. Move forward with what the Democrats wanted.
Yeah, it's a shame, but we know that whether it's the right or the left, both sides have pork in this bill that they want in there. And it's about time conservatives play hardball with this. There's been, I think I saw here, there's been 4 government shutdowns since 1981. So twice in 96, one in 2014, and the longest one ever was in 2019. It was 34 days.
Mhm.
Guess what?
What?
Nobody died.
Right. Everything carried on.
Shut her down.
It was all okay. But that seems very odd that Mike Johnson, he's been hanging out with Trump. He even said that he was on a text thread with Elon and Vivek.
Well, wasn't he at the football game? We talked about it
he was at
yesterday.
the football game. All good buddies. But, it seems like he's playing both sides. I mean, well, to my surprise, he's a politician. Let's talk about somebody else who's playing both sides, and this is more local. Greg Taylor, state senator, no longer the Democrat leader in the Indiana Senate.
I'd like to think we did that, Casey.
You think it was us?
I think it was us.
Or the reporting from the Indy Star, maybe a combination of the both. That's a shocker right there, right?
You said reporting an Indy Star in the same sentence.
I
have
know.
not
Wait
heard
a
that
minute.
in a long time.
What's going on there? This following allegations of sexual harassment from 3 women. Senator Shelley Yoder of Bloomington, she was elected as the new Democrat leader. And didn't he apologize at one point? And now he's trying to even distance himself from the apology. What is the problem here? Why can't women just go to work and not have to feel they're scared for their safety? I mean, there's talk that at one point he forcibly kissed somebody in the bathroom.
And not even their safety, but just scared to speak up, right? Let alone, not only do you have to worry about something happening, you have to worry that if something happens and you say something, it may cost you.
Yeah. Do you think he voluntarily stepped down? Did he do this on his own, or was he
voluntold?
Yeah, he was voluntold. The caucus, they issued a statement thanking him for his service, and then they, praised his replacement. Of course, that's the way it goes.
Turn the page.
Yeah, I mean, how many allegations do you need to have before somebody says, "Okay, this isn't good"? What was it, 6?
Yeah, where there's smoke, there's fire, right?
Yeah,
At least
because 1 wasn't enough. Yeah. You got to go all the way up to 6. That's apparently where we draw the line. So you might recall last week there was this push-up competition between Dave McCormick, who is Congressman-elect for Pennsylvania, and Todd Young. And it has finally come to a head. So they had this little friendly competition over the Army-Navy game, right? And Dave McCormick challenged Todd Young to do 50 push-ups on the steps of the Capitol, depending on whose team won. And, well,
I don't want to talk about it. I was in the Army. We got skull drugged. That was horrible.
Yeah, the game?
Oh,
yeah,
that was brutal.
Well, Todd Young went and collected on the push-ups. And these two guys playing footsie with each other while the government wants to spend billions of dollars. But this was their push-up contest.
Oh, man, it was hard. I mean, I made that bet thinking that you were going to have to do 50 push-ups. I was worried you wouldn't be able to do them, but here I lost. Yeah. And now I got to do 50 push-ups. But, what Dina says, my wife, is for the Army-Navy game, no matter who wins, Army or Navy, America always wins.
America definitely won, and we put a cherry on top with the Naval Academy's victory.
Exactly. But you and I always cheer for Navy except when it's Army. And I know you always
likewise, but opposite. Yeah, exactly.
And the great thing about it is, on that day, we're like fierce competitors, but on 364 days a year, we are brothers in arms, and
it's true.
We got that in common, and everybody that's ever gone through either academy has that in common.
It's true. It's a fraternity of patriots and great Americans. So let's do it, man. Let's drop. I'm gonna join you.
Okay.
Even though you guys were, yeah. All right, here we go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it quickly too.
Ready? Ready we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. We could do 30 more.
Go Army!
Yeah! Go Navy.
They look like they're twins in this video that they put out on social media. They're both wearing dark pants and light blue shirts, doing push-ups on the steps of the Capitol. It's all fun and games. They said, America won. No, actually, you know what? With all of your spending, Duke of Spendingburg, America's not winning. These guys, could somebody ask the Duke of Spendingburg how he plans to pay back the $15 trillion plus of debt that he's voted on in the Senate, Jerry? Or is he just telling, because Dave McCormick is coming in in the 119th Congress. So he's going to be a newbie. And here's Todd Young, who's already in there. Like, this is what we're doing. We've got this continuing resolution. Duke of Spendingburg just, hey, more money. Let's spend. And he's doing push-ups on the steps of the Capitol. Like, is this what he's trying to tell the next generation of leaders, that this is what we do? We're just having fun and games with America's money.
Yeah, and I'm going to vote for your raise. So we have a raise coming up.
Oh, right. Exactly. So, hey,
we're all happy. We're super
welcome
happy.
on in, Dave McCormick.
Yeah.
You just got a $40,000 raise if this omnibus bill passes.
Yeah, you're not a peasant anymore. Welcome to us.
Welcome to the club. It's never-ending inflation with these guys. Just spend. And they try to, this is like lipstick on the pig. Let's just, we're just like you. We're just having this friendly push-up contest. No, guys, that's not what we sent you to Washington for.
How many times did they screw us before Elon showed up? That's what I want to know.
Right.
We just found out about this. They've been having bills like this for 50 years. How many of these bills have just included stuff that have nothing to do with us?
Okay. The House Ethics Committee, they quietly voted earlier this month to release the report of the conduct of Matt Gaetz in Florida. Oh, boy. He stepped out just in time. Do you think he knew it was coming?
100% he knew it was coming.
Yeah. It's expected to be made public.
Yeah, he's on Cameo now, by the way.
How much is he charging for that?
I heard it was $500 a
Is
video.
it $500
Yeah.
a video?
Hey, this is Matt Gaetz.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
And he's going to be hosting his own talk show now on a network. The guy's used to being on camera, so he'll probably do a decent job once he settles in. It's being reported that he was caught off guard by the decision.
I don't believe that.
You think he stepped out intentionally?
Yeah, because he was leading the race to be
Attorney General.
Yeah. And then he just dropped out. Everybody had full
resigned.
support, and then he was out.
It's interesting. One last thing we have to talk about, this flat earther.
Oh, this is funny.
This guy travels all the way to Antarctica to prove that the earth is flat, only to find out, it's not. So he's a YouTuber, and he went on this $35,000 trip to prove that there was no 24-hour sun. And then when he got there, oh no, reality set in.
Now turn it over to the flat earthers. Who would like to go first? So obviously you all know Jaron Campanella of Jaronism, one of the most popular flat earth YouTube channels.
Not for long. All right, guys. Sometimes you are wrong in life. And I thought that there was no 24-hour sun. In fact, I was pretty sure of it. But I respect Will Duffy for being a stand-up guy, at least in the way that he kept saying it was true. I kept saying it wasn't. He said, "Do you want to go? I'll take you," and brought me here. And it's a fact. The sun does circle you in the south. So what does that mean? You guys are going to have to figure that out yourself. Don't listen to my beliefs or my opinion. It shouldn't matter to you. But at least you should be able to accept that the sun does exactly what these guys said as far as circles the southern continent. So that's about it. I realize that I'll be called a shill for just saying that. And you know what? If you're a shill for being honest, so be it. I honestly believe there was no 24-hour sun. I honestly now believe there is.
Okay. So he goes on a $35,000 trip to be proven wrong. I can't believe there's still people that believe that the earth is flat. But hey, rich people, I don't believe there's wine in Tuscany. I don't believe there's a beach in Fiji. You know what? If you've got the funds, I don't believe you can see whales on an Alaskan cruise. Prove me wrong. Somebody, please.
The beauty of the internet is there's a segment of population that will tune into you. And this guy probably lost money by doing this. If he's a flat earther YouTube influencer,
making his living off of that.
He just lost a whole lot of funds.
He just lost it. Yeah. It is the Kendall Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
Tonight on the Tony Kinnett Cast, we dig into the absolute mess on Capitol Hill and maybe a little bit of a giveaway for our listeners. See you at 7 p.m.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. That's 800-948-1659.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
I've tried just about everything for my ED. Big name brands, awkward appointments, the whole deal. Nothing felt right for my lifestyle until I found Hardee's from Zelty. Pre-planning, waiting an hour, it took all the fun out of dating. But Hardee's changed everything. These dissolve fast, working in as little as 15 minutes and last up to 36 hours. Plus, they cost up to 90% less than big name brands with the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis to keep me going strong. No appointments, no hassle, and completely discreet. That's right, Zelty is 100% online with fast, free shipping. Plus, powerful results that cost around 90% less. For a single guy like me, Hardee's made dating fun again. Text TERM to 200-300 to see if you qualify for fast-acting, long-lasting ED medication. Get your free medical review now. Text the word TERM to 200-300. That's TERM to 200-300. Don't wait. Text now. Hardee's from Zelty. TERM to 200-300. TERM to 200-300.
What is 988?
It's a free 24-hour suicide and crisis lifeline.
With trained crisis specialists offering a listening ear.
For anyone experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis.
Or thoughts of suicide. Specialists have your best interest in mind.
And can connect you to helpful resources.
If you're experiencing a crisis, call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It's someone who gets you.
And it's a way forward.
One of the real advantages that we have here at Hendricks is the scope of the services that we have to offer in orthopedics.
Whether they have a hip fracture or they're a high-functioning athlete, we're all working towards the same thing.
To have them be able to have an elective surgery safely and then go home also in a safe fashion is of utmost importance.
We very much want everyone to get back to doing everything that they were doing beforehand. We're really invested in it.
Unstoppable orthopedic care. Learn more at hendricks.org/ortho.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It's the Degenerates Next Door, a sports betting podcast for dudes.
Real dudes, not the fake Kardashian-looking like dudes you see on television doing this. The Degenerates Next Door. Download and subscribe today anywhere you get your podcast.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. My name is Casey Daniels. Jerry Lopez is filling in for Rob Kendall today. And lo and behold, look who popped in the studio. Brad Kapenstein. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. It's a Christmas miracle.
It is a Christmas miracle. Look at you guys. So I wanted to ask you, because later on today, you're doing an article, an interview for an article that will be published in the Indy Star.
Correct.
And this is about what is going on in your home city, Lawrence.
Yes.
Tell us, what is going on there?
So there was a hearing with the Department of Local Government Finance a couple weeks ago. So Lawrence has not passed all of their budgets yet for 2025, and there was a citizen's complaint over overspending and not adhering to this year's budget. So there was a hearing. They took testimony. Testimony or the ability for people to submit their testimony ended last Friday. So they will make a determination and a recommendation, and it could be anything from recommendations on how to get their finances in order to the state could potentially come in and take over local municipal government.
So it's broke. City's broke.
Apparently.
Yeah. And the cause of this?
I think there's a lot of causes. The council and the mayor's office have not worked well together so far this year. There has not been fantastic financial reporting.
Okay, so
up to this point.
Let's just come on, overspending.
There's been some money spent.
Yeah.
Did they build any? Was there any new big projects or something that went over budget or anything like that? Or just bad check keeping?
It's hard to say just because there has not been full financial disclosure. So, like, I'm the president of the Stormwater Board, and we haven't been able to get answers as to what has been spent, what projects are coming up, how much money do we have. We had less money than we expected, and we dug into it and found that money that was supposed to go to stormwater had been placed into a motor vehicle fund and got it moved back. So we're still in a discovery phase at this point. I have every hope and expectation that we can get this figured out and move forward. However, I've not seen a municipal government get themselves to this point before.
You had mentioned hearings coming up. What could come of those hearings?
So, like, it could be anything from, hey, we're going to give you some assistance on helping with your budget and your accounting, but pretty much like the Department of Education can come in if a school is not, if they get F ratings, like they came in and took over the Gary schools. I think they've taken over a couple others. I've never seen this happen, but
Hogsett wants to take over IPS schools.
Yes. Yeah. So, so we'll see. We have Lawrence has a new chief of staff, and he's the former mayor of Kokomo. And so I think he was 3 terms up there. So I hope that he can kind of help right the ship on this, and things will be fantastic. But ultimately, if the state doesn't feel like Lawrence can get it together, the state can come in and actually take over municipal government. So they insert their own people. I don't know how long that lasts. I don't know how that works when you have a mayor who is duly elected. But
right. So they could potentially come in, try and clean it all up, and then turn it back over.
You guys are going to have your own version of Doge.
Yes,
right?
Yes, exactly. So, it
sounds like they needed a version of Doge
I will
before.
tweet Elon for you right now. He'll figure it out.
I appreciate that. So, there's lots of rumors out there saying, this is a move for the city of Indianapolis to take over the city of Lawrence. We'll see. I don't think they could do that, but it sounds like everything's on the table right now.
All right. Well, good luck with your interview.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Did you hear about this guy from Colorado? By the way, I know you're in the beer biz.
Yes.
This Colorado driver, he was busted for a DUI crash, and he explained to cops that he was, quote, a professional drinker.
In other words, I have lots of practice in this, sir.
Yeah, they said when one of the officers asked him if he was on drugs, he said, no drugs, man, just loud drinking. Hey, guess what his BAC was?
Well, if
he says he's a professional drinker.
Professional
What's his BAC?
drinker, so that means he probably lives at about a 0.15. Okay. So if he was on a special day, he was probably a 0.2 or above.
0.326.
Oh, good God, that's death. I think, yeah.
State limit's the same here, 0.08.
Wow. So at 0.03 and above, you're in the death range. So he's at 0.326?
Yeah.
Wow.
He claimed that he had 10 beverages before the crash.
Oh, he had more than 10.
And they found an empty Jim Beam shooter in his pocket when they arrested him.
Did this guy have a license, a valid license? Is this like his first offense? Or if he's a professional drinker, I would have to think that this might not be the first time he's been pinched.
Yeah, possibly, right?
Now, although, Jerry, you're kind of a professional drinker.
Yeah, but I'm not like that. That's crazy. that's 0.326.
Clearly, the excuse...
That's a lot of drinking. That he is a professional drinker.
Yeah, well...
0.326, that's going to shut most people down.
Yeah.
He was arrested.
Good.
I would hope.
Sent to jail, of course.
I'm envisioning that old WKRP skit where they came in and started drinking and then, every 10 minutes started doing the breathalyzer. I think you guys should do this.
I'm driving a radio program right now. That's what I'm driving.
Oh, there's no laws against drinking and driving a radio program, I don't believe.
Somebody's got to get me home then. Thank you for stopping by.
You're welcome. Hey, great to see you
It
guys.
was good to see you as well. Jerry, let's talk about these astronauts really quick. NASA has 2 astronauts that are stuck in space. They're going to be there for just a little bit more. They were supposed to be coming back, but now they're going to be stuck in space until March. Is that right? 10 months?
Yeah, they were supposed to be there 8 days.
And now it's turned into 10 months.
Yeah. I mean, you can't plan for that. It's like going on vacation. We're going to go for 4 days. If your plane gets delayed 3 days, you're already out of clothes.
Yeah.
Imagine 10 months and you're planning an 8-day trip.
It's like Gilligan's Island, the 3-hour tour.
And what sucks is you miss Christmas, you miss birthdays, your kids, like, it's horrible.
Yep. It is the Kendall Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC. And coming up, we've got more drone talk on the way from 93 WIBC.
Come on now. Let me hear you. And happy holidays. Oh, yeah. It's that time of year. That time of year.
I've been thinking about my Christmas wish list. Want to know what's at the top of the list? Never worrying about my family using all the hot water. Yes, endless hot water is what I'm hoping for this Christmas. Luckily, my friends at Hope Plumbing are offering an amazing special during the holiday season. $1,000 off a tankless water heater. Yes, you can give the gift of endless hot water and save $1,000 by calling Hope Plumbing today or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
This winter, cozy up with a match made in Cocoa Heaven. Introducing Swiss Miss Schmallow, the perfect pairing of Schmallow, the original toasted marshmallow whiskey from Hotel Tango Distillery, and Swiss Miss Hot Cocoa. You've tried Schmallow before. Now Hotel Tango Distillery is taking it up a notch with this fantastic collaboration with Swiss Miss. Imagine rich, creamy cocoa swirling with a hint of toasted marshmallow warmth. It's a sip of comfort like no other. From cold weather gatherings to quiet nights in, Swiss Miss Schmallow is here to add a touch of sweet nostalgia with an adult twist. Warm up your season. Grab Swiss Miss Schmallow before it's gone. Find it at your local store and toast to the taste of winter. Swiss Miss Schmallow, where cozy meets a little bit of kick. Sip responsibly. Must be 21 or older to purchase alcohol. Available where fine spirits are sold. HotelTangoDistillery.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Great holiday savings all month at Tom Roush Lincoln. And during the Lincoln Wish List sales event, select 2024 Lincoln Navigators now $12,000 off and get 0% for 60 months. And all these great deals include the Lincoln Conquest Trade Assist. And don't you forget, all Lincolns come with complimentary pickup and delivery service. So get some of those holiday savings right now at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,845. Subject credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Your one blood donation can help save the lives of up to 3 people. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Visit redcrossblood.org today.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Coming up in 2 minutes, a state senator gets demoted after more harassment claims come to light. Plus, Harrison Silcox reports on an Indy man heading to federal prison and how IU's quarterback is looking at the forecast for Friday's big game. I'm Kirk Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recyclers Studios. You're listening to 93 WYBC, WYBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
clean-shaven in an orange jumpsuit. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Luigi Mangione, the man accused of killing United Healthcare's CEO, in court now in Pennsylvania, where he just waived extradition, not fighting being sent to New York.
Once in Manhattan, Luigi Mangione could be arraigned on 11 criminal counts as soon as this afternoon, and that includes that first-degree murder charge as an act of terrorism.
Fox's Brian Yennis outside the court.
Our colleagues at Fox 5 in New York reporting that the NYPD will move Luigi Mangione via plane, that they do not want to drive him the 5 hours that it would take to get from Altoona to New York to avoid that media spectacle that would ensue.
There are Mangione supporters outside holding free Luigi signs. Thousands of Amazon delivery drivers on strike at 7 warehouses from California to New York, where Teamsters local president Vincent Perrone says
they want a good salary, they want prevailing wages, they want benefits, health and welfare benefits.
Amazon refuses to negotiate with the Teamsters, saying most of those who walked out are not actually Amazon employees, but third-party drivers, making up a small percentage of warehouse staff. So the retail giant says the strike will not disrupt overall holiday shipping for Amazon. House Republicans working on a new spending bill before tomorrow's deadline after they scrapped the bipartisan plan. Majority Leader Steve Scalise says
the ultimate goal is to get a bill that addresses our immediate needs, but also sets President Trump up for success when he comes into office.
It was President-elect Trump calling that first bill ridiculous and expensive that led to Plan B. House Democrats say if the government shuts down this weekend, it'll be the Republicans' fault. And speaking of President-elect Trump, an appeals court in Georgia has just removed the district attorney in the election interference case, Fani Willis, but it leaves the indictment in place, but the future of the prosecution's uncertain. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Piling up, it's 32 degrees and cloudy downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:02. More claims of sexual harassment against a state lawmaker.
My focus is going to be working with the legislature to try to get public policy passed. I'm not going to address those issues that, from over 15 years ago that are false.
State Senator Greg Taylor denying accusations that he acted inappropriately against female staffers over the last decade. 3 more women came forward on Wednesday. Taylor was removed as Senate Minority Leader by Democrats and replaced with Bloomington Senator Shelley Yoder. Richard Allen is the man a jury says is guilty of murdering Abby Williams and Libby German in Delphi. He'll be back in the Carroll County Courthouse tomorrow as he'll receive his sentence from Judge Fran Gull. Allen's lawyers are expected to appeal the guilty verdict. A man from Indianapolis has been sentenced for robbing a gas station. Harrison Silcox.
Have a nice day, bro, is the last thing George Tracy told a gas station clerk after shooting them in the leg and stealing $200 from the register. Court documents say Tracy robbed a mobile gas station along Central Avenue in November of 2022. The whole thing was caught on security cameras. Police later searched Tracy's home and found the gun he used along with the clothes he wore during the robbery. Tracy would plead guilty to the whole thing. He was given a sentence of 13 years in federal prison with 3 years of supervised release once he's out. Harrison Silcox, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Gas prices are heading back up a bit. $3.04 is the average in Indiana today for unleaded, says Gas Buddy. Cold and maybe some snow. That's what the forecast looks like for tomorrow night's college football playoff matchup between Indiana and Notre Dame in South Bend. IU quarterback Curtis Rourke.
I actually never played in snow, when it was actually snowing. I've definitely played in some really cold games. I always try to keep the mindset of, not letting the environment affect me and just going out and executing and playing.
The winner tomorrow takes on Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey, Rob, did you know that the Social Security Trust Fund is expected to run out of money in less than 10 years?
Casey, I refuse to believe that our government might be letting the public down at large.
Well, according to Barron's, an average couple could lose up to $16,500 every year in Social Security income. Multiply that by 10 or 20 years, and it could easily add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And that's why it's critical you have the right strategy to file for Social Security.
Discover how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits with a free, customized Social Security analysis.
It's from Bill Demery. He's your retirement guy in Indy. He's also our retirement guy. We trust Bill, and you can too.
If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis now by calling 317-932-9912.
That's 317-932-9912.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's jewelry experts.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Thursday, December 19th. It is 5 minutes after 10. It is the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. I'm Casey Daniels. That is Jerry Lopez, who is in for Rob Kendall today. You know, I just wanted to share this really quick, Jerry, before we start talking about the drones again. So, you know, the dude and my daughter, they're making their way back to Indianapolis from Baltimore. They're driving. He flew out yesterday, and they're, for various reasons, she's going to be here for a few weeks, needs her car here with her. So they're driving back from Baltimore today. And I was texting the dude last night with the whole, you know, hey, be careful. We're expecting snow. It's more important that you get here safely than quickly, all of that stuff. And, you know, I get the, I got it. But then I texted him last night, and I said, hey, when you're stopping, make sure you stop at decent bathrooms tomorrow and make sure that she gets in and out safely. I don't want any crazies hiding anywhere. And when you're filling up, make sure that you're paying attention to her and everybody around in the gas station, because, you know, it's moments like that when you're not paying attention and there's this young 20-something that somebody thinks is by themselves. That's just the time when bad things happen. And I hate that here we are in America where, you know, you're supposed to be safe. You're supposed to feel safe. And driving across the country like that, I feel like I just have to remind Dad, keep an eye all the time, because I know you guys are traveling together, but don't turn away when you're filling up your car, because that's when things happen. And you have to feel that way because I know you have daughters.
So I have a nightmare scenario that happened a week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
She works downtown. She's a bartender downtown. So her hours, she gets off 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whatever.
Yeah.
She calls me freaking out on the way home from downtown, going up to the north side of Indy. Dad, I think I have a flat tire.
Oh,
it's 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. Where are you at? I'm by the fairgrounds.
Okay.
What? I drove all the way from Noblesville as fast as I could. Thank God those speed cameras weren't up. Because here's my daughter.
You were going faster than 40?
I was flying.
Yeah.
Here's my daughter at 12 o'clock at night on the side of the road at a gas station outside the Pepsi Coliseum. And I'm just, this is the worst of the worst scenario.
Yeah. I mean, your heart is racing that whole time. You're just thinking, you know, sit in the car with it locked and have your phone out and ready. And it shouldn't be that way.
I mean, even when I was changing her tire, I'm like, sit in the car.
Yeah, exactly. Because you can't keep your eye on the tire and what you're doing, and her as well. And you had mentioned even when you're out with the little ones as well.
When they're at that weird age, and it's like kids, girls, or boys' bathroom, or do we wait for the family one? They're too old to take them in the men's.
And you wish you had another set of eyes so that, or hands that you could just watch everybody. And it's sad that it's come to this. And when people question, you know, why did you vote for Donald Trump? Because of that exact reason. There it is, plain and simple. The safety of everybody and women. And you just wish that there were Daniel Pennies everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's talk about these drones. Oh, boy. Spotted 17 at military bases across the country. And here's the thing. It's being reported that these drones are being identified next to Chinese-owned land in this country. Well, it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, I pulled up a map. So this is Chinese-owned farmland in America that is outside within 10 miles of a military base. So I'm going to name some big ones. You have Fort Leonard Wood, that's in Missouri. You have, we talked about it yesterday, Wright-Patterson.
Wright-Pat, yep.
Naval Station in Norfolk, Fort Liberty, Fort Irwin, Fort Lewis, where I was stationed out in Seattle. and in Honolulu, Hawaii. They're all over. Whiteman Air Force Base.
They've been spotted by Norfolk in Virginia as well.
Yep. So, and it's funny when you look at the farm, it's right up against it. And I don't know how we let this happen.
Yeah. So McCall, he's the one who came out. He's the House Foreign Affairs Committee chairman, and he said that he believes some of the drones are spy drones from China. So if they're by these military bases, which is near Chinese-owned farmland, that's starting to be a little bit more plausible.
Well, we already let you fly a balloon across the whole country.
So why not all of your drones,
Just go
right?
all out, yeah.
Chinese investors own over 349,000 acres of U.S. farmland. That's crazy to think
ridiculous.
that one of our adversaries owns land in our country.
Yeah, let alone next to an Army base or military base.
Right, exactly. So there's this former Navy pilot, and he was weighing in on the drone sightings in New Jersey and elsewhere as the mystery rages on. His name is Ryan Graves. He's a former lieutenant. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and they were discussing different things about the drones and also the possible technologies that are powering the drones, which would allow them to avoid detection. He had some pretty interesting things to say, and he explained that the drones are capable of high G maneuvers, sharp turns, climbs, dives. It's not typical of conventional aircraft. He noted that the drones can remain airborne for extended periods, 5 to 7 hours, and they appear to have significant battery life and other propulsion systems. So here is Ryan Graves talking about these drones.
And so I can imagine some technologies that will allow traditional UAVs or drones to operate without emitting, right? So they could be, they could have a self-contained navigational system, right? Maybe they have their own onboard maps and they're using cameras to map where they are.
So then they would be completely autonomous. You just send them out there and they would have a task and they would go through whatever their task is and navigate via their GPS or whatever tracking system they're using.
Exactly. And then, what is their task, right?
Right.
Is it just to instill panic and fear? Is it because they're sensing something? And if they are sensing something, they would have to be using what's called passive sensors, right? So like a camera system is passive, but if you're shooting a radar out and having it bounce off of something, that's active, right? And that's easier to detect than a passive system. So I could imagine, a fully self-contained autonomous drone system that is doing something potentially with passive sensors that allows it to operate without emissions, which is going to make it harder to track.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so he pointed out that U.S. authorities are limited by legal constraints, needing warrants to intercept the drone signals or to take action. And he also said that base commanders, they have to seek approval from the Secretary of Defense before taking any action against the drones, which obviously is making it a little politically sensitive situation.
Sounds so stupid, right? Like, just tell everybody, look, here's the deal. If you have a drone, don't fly it tomorrow. We're not going to maul out the sky.
Right.
Here's your heads up.
And then we'll know what's up there.
Yeah. We don't want to break your stuff, so don't fly it tomorrow night.
He says he doesn't believe that these drones, which has been a rumor, that they're looking for radiation or a loose nuke.
So, I've had the privilege of interacting with a lot of government organizations over the past few years as I've been digging down this rabbit hole. Law enforcement at a federal level, DOD, executive branch, legislative branch, and some of the folks that I've come in contact with, they specifically work on weapons of mass destruction. Okay, so that's their job. So if there's a loose nuke in the United States, among other agencies, they would be some of the people that would be sitting in a skiff for 24 hours a day trying to figure out where it is and to go get it, right? So you can imagine that would be their number one priority, right? So I engage with these folks. I ask them, what's the sense here? People are kind of starting to panic a little bit, and this message is getting out there more and more broadly. And they assured me that's not the case, that there is not a loose nuke or other type of weapon of mass destruction that these objects, whatever they are pursuing right now. Otherwise, they would be working in a skiff nonstop to make that go away, that problem go away. So, that's part of why I have a high confidence level that this is not a response to a massive imminent, weapons of mass destruction threat on the eastern seaboard.
So, and when he uses that word skiff, that's like a building with no windows. Where they talk about classified stuff. And
Yeah, and it's where you got to leave your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
In the
Badge
cubby
in,
before you
badge
get
out.
in. Yeah.
This is why. So I used to work in one. When Hillary Clinton got in trouble for the emails, it drove us crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's like you get checked. You can't take your phone in. You can't take in anything. If I took out one thing, I'm going to jail. How'd she get away with all that?
Yeah. He addressed the claim from the mayor of Belleville, New Jersey, who suggested that the drones might be looking for radioactive material following that report. We talked about it yesterday, the missing medical equipment containing that small amount of radioactive material. And he says he does not think the drones would be looking for gamma radiation, and this is why.
So there are teams that respond to those types of potential emergencies, typically within the Department of Energy. Having, potentially hundreds of drones flying around trying to identify these isn't necessarily the best way. Gamma radiation is typically well shielded in weapons. And at very high altitudes or even moderate altitudes, like we're seeing these objects, it would be pretty difficult to detect them. And the way that NIST, the DOE, typically operates in this environment is ground-based teams searching for radiation itself. So it's not necessarily consistent with how they would do it to begin with. And then based off of that other information, that's what leads me to believe that's not the case.
Okay, so he says that he doesn't think they're looking for a loose nuke. He doesn't think they're looking for gamma radiation. If that's true, that makes you feel a little bit better.
I guess, but the mayor said they were.
A little bit better. So, again, that kind of makes me go back to, is this a spy thing?
We're back where we started, Casey.
Yeah, I know. Here we go round again.
The mayor of the town said they're looking for stuff. This guy says they're not.
Who do you believe? Well, he says that these UAPs, they've been documented weeks before Christmas for the last 3 years. And he said that this year they were waiting for these drones to come back. They were waiting. They were expecting them. And it's widespread. It's not just New Jersey.
So Langley Air Force Base, you might be familiar with the fact that they had drone incursions of an unknown type, unknown origin last year.
Right.
That happened during about a 2.5-3 week period right before Christmas, right where we are now. That also happened the year before over Langley. Unknown objects operating over the base. They couldn't tell where they were going. They were unprepared for them. Same period of time, 2-3 weeks before Christmas. This is year 3, right? And they were expecting them to come again for third year in a row over Langley. And there was, some effort put forward to be able to better understand these when they came back. And they did come back, but they came back in a much wider swath, right? Now we have them all over New Jersey, all the way up to Massachusetts. And it's hard to tell exactly with the quality of the reporting right now, because it seems to be, the bigger this story gets, the more people are just looking up and seeing anything and pointing it out. But there are reports from Texas to Florida to California, Ohio, Minnesota, Pennsylvania. I mean, it's not just New Jersey itself, it seems. And even the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base was shut down for a drone incursion just this last Friday, a couple of days ago. So this isn't just a one-off event. It is in the sense that it's so large and so many people are paying attention to it. But this has been occurring for at least 3 years around military bases.
So
what's been happening the past 3 years, Casey?
Right.
Who's been in charge? Coincidence?
Yeah.
Right? We've been letting in illegal immigrants and illegal drones during this administration.
They're all coming in.
I think we're going to see this even worse now because they know January 20th that daddy's coming home. So get it all in now.
Right.
I'm surprised China hasn't surrounded Taiwan at this point.
That guy sounded very knowledgeable and legit. It's like, who do you believe? But when you think about that, right, Pat?
That's
This
important.
is an hour and a half away if you're driving at a good clip.
Langley's a very important military base.
Yeah. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
Galloway for a 3. Renewed. Throws it up and in and a foul. For a 3. Yes. And a Bucko.
Mike Woodson has an exciting roster of veterans, transfers, and freshmen.
Dribbles it once, twice, still battling.
Chattanooga visits Bloomington Saturday.
Throws it up. Got it!
John Herrick has the pregame at 11. Don Fisher with the tip at noon. On your home for IU basketball, 93 WIBC.
What does the joy of Christmas mean to you? A gift? Time with family? Decorations and traditions? At Shepherd Community, the joy of Christmas is learning to read, Feeling safe and loved, finding a stable job, and having a community that cares. Shepherd gives its neighbors gifts of joy and hope for a brighter future. You can give the joy of Christmas to neighbors living in poverty, not just at the holidays, but all year long. Visit caringatchristmas.org/give. That's caringatchristmas.org/give.
This is Chris with Absolute Comfort. We just want to thank you and your family for business that you've passed to us this year. Our families appreciate everything that you do for us, and we just want to let you know that if you have needs for your man cave or your she shed or whatever the thing is for a family member that you love, we just ask that you give us a call, and we've got some different ideas for you. Have a Merry Christmas.
Absolute Comfort is your Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless dealer.
This holiday, shop at Helzberg and get up to 50% off select jewelry, like a unique engagement ring to say,
I want to spend my life with you.
a stunning tennis bracelet that says,
You thought I forgot our anniversary?
or huggy hoop earrings that tell her.
See, I was listening.
Come to the Helzberg holiday sale and get up to 50% off select engagement rings and fine jewelry. A perfect gift designed with the love and care worthy of your story. Visit a Helzberg store or helzberg.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Guys, what are you waiting for? For that special Christmas gift, let Pierce Jewelers bring that sparkle back into her life with a diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Is it a Christmas classic or is it cringe? There's this comedian. His name is Tom McDonald. He has released a new Christmas song. He's all dressed up with a Santa hat. He's got tattoos on his face to make him look like Post Malone. You be the judge. Is it good or is it thumbs down?
Well, the tide is finally turning, and Kamala's speech is slurring. Thank God we're saying bye to Joe. Screw the woke, screw the woke, screw the woke. And the mainstream media's dying. Their viewers shaving their heads and crying. What is a woman? Well, they still don't know. Screw the woke, screw the woke, screw the woke. They tried to stop us by taking his life, but they missed, so it's fight, fight, fight. The left really thought they'd beat the right, and they fought, but they lost, thank the Lord. Now January is coming. Half of Hollywood's already running. They're finding new countries to call home. Screw the woke, screw the woke, screw the woke.
That's 2 thumbs up for me.
You like that one?
I like that one.
See, the thing is, when you do parody songs like that, it's like you got to thread that needle, right? Because it could come across really cringy as well.
And for something like that, you have to know a little bit to know what all this is talking about, like the shaving the heads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So did you see this Indianapolis man has been banned from all Wingstop restaurants in Marion County? This is a lifetime ban, isn't it?
Yep.
He got in a shootout with employees.
Yeah. This
happened at 10th Street and Lyndhurst Drive.
He can go to Hamilton. Like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Just in Marion County, brother. You got to a shootout with employees. You can't come get your wings in Marion County. This is so dumb.
What was he upset about? Do we know? Like, did they get?
They said he was intoxicated when he walked in. They told him to leave. They tried to shut the door on him, and he pulled out a gun. Here's the kicker, Marion County. I want you to listen. He was sentenced to 4 days of time served.
Okay.
4 days.
Yeah, that's it.
This is why Indianapolis is number 10 on the most dangerous cities in America.
I wonder what they got in an argument about. He was looking for a fight, most likely.
I guess.
He was one of those professional drinkers, huh? But you got it. He can go elsewhere to get his wings. So how about this list of license plates that have been rejected? Pretty good, huh?
Very good.
998 rejected plates this past year. It was the most rejected plate was Hawktua. 15 different variations of that tried to get passed. F word was one of them.
Literally F-W-O-R-D.
Right. On meth was one. Moo. I don't understand. What's wrong with moo?
I have no idea.
Like a cow?
Fat shaming. Can't put that on.
Oh, okay. Oh, no. ND Sucks was one.
IU Sucks was one. ND Sucks, yeah.
So lots of...
Jail Joe.
Jail Joe.
That was taken off, yeah.
Didn't like that one. Many variations of... And it's hard to do this article without saying the words, but behind... Lots of variations of behind. Another one, IU Sucks, was rejected as well. I saw, speaking of IU and the Notre Dame game coming up, IU has a hype video that they're going to be playing at Notre Dame Stadium. It's only like 30 seconds long that they put up on the Jumbotron when the team comes out, and they're using Kendrick Lamar's DNA song.
Oh, cool.
As the hype music. And they're going to be at Notre Dame Stadium. They're selling a bread pudding shamrock with Fighting Irish caramel sauce infused with Bailey's Irish cream.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's got a blend of cinnamon sugar, white chocolate, and raisins.
IU fans might want to load up on that. It's going to be a long night.
Green and gold sugar and sprinkles. It looks yummy. I don't know how much it's going to cost. It's probably very expensive with all of those different little fun toppings on it. Of course, Kurt Signetti saying, hey, cold weather, no problem for us. Our quarterback's from Canada. He's used to it. They are expecting snow up there on Friday. I think it could become an iconic game.
I hope so.
You
the
never
only
know.
thing that's iconic about Notre Dame games in the playoffs is they get ran.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like almost every year.
They
We
choke.
had the fake girlfriend with Teo. Matt Teo had the
Teo.
fake girlfriend they set up. And
Yep. It always happens to them. Did you see that the Phoenix Sun owner has announced new concession stand prices? So it used to be if you were a family of four, you'd spend about $98 on hot dogs and popcorn and a couple of waters. He lowered the price. $2 hot dogs, $2 waters, $2 sodas, $2 chips, $2 popcorn.
That's awesome.
He says now people are going to pay $24 instead of $100.
You know
for
who
a
else
family.
does? The Atlanta Falcons have the same deal. It's like $3 popcorns, $3 hot dogs. And that's how it should be, family friendly. The tickets cost enough. Dude.
Right. The tickets are already so much, and parking. And
you take a family of four and sit in the nosebleed, you're spending $240.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Yeah. So, they don't need to gouge you on the prices at the concession stand. Jerry, you've been called out.
I'm ready.
In the voicemails. Somebody had not nice things to say towards you. Are you ready for it?
Oh, I'm ready.
Do we play it first or do we play it last?
Let's play it last because I think I'm going to need a nice little rebuttal.
You going to need a warm-up?
I'm going to need a warm-up.
Okay, watch Jerry go off coming up in the voicemails on 93 WIBC.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. It's the holiday season, a time for family, friends, and staying cozy inside. But if your home is drafty, it's hard to stay comfortable. And with all the gift of giving happening this time of year, why don't you give yourself the gift of lower energy bills with new windows from Universal Windows Direct. At Universal Windows Direct, if you act right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you're going to get the next 2 free. There's no limit. Plus, Universal Windows Direct is offering 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments. Now, some restrictions may apply, so call today, 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. Don't wait. Make sure your home is ready for the winter and the holidays. Call Universal Windows Direct today at 317-659-7574 to schedule your free in-home estimate or visit UWD.com. Universal Windows Direct, UWD.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Hey, listen, are you a 50-year-old person looking for term life insurance? Then you need to talk to Bob. Bob specializes in helping people find $1 million or more of term life insurance for a couple of $100 a month. Look, you need to know there's a price war in the term life insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call Bob, and he'll shop and see how much money he can save you. Look, this could be the last term life insurance policy you ever have. Your rates are guaranteed for the next 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rates for the next 20 years. And if you're a smoker or your health is not perfect, Bob has great rates for you too. So for $1 million of term life insurance coverage for a couple of $100 a month, call Bob right now. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. That's 800-890-5075. Paid for by Term Direct.
This holiday season, visit Boot Barn for top quality gifts that pay tribute to the lasting heritage of the West. From handcrafted cowboy boots and American-made felt hats to leather jackets, our in-store experts will help guide you as you shop, assisting with boot fitting and providing complimentary hat shaping. This holiday, share a piece of the American spirit. Boot Barn. Unwrap the West.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
She's off the case. It's 32 degrees and cloudy downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:30. A Georgia district attorney is off the election interference case against Donald Trump. District Attorney Fani Willis has been dismissed by an appellate court. Earlier this year, Trump's lawyers asked that Willis be disqualified from the case over her relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade. The U.S. Supreme Court will hear arguments over a law that would ban TikTok in the U.S. Alina Habba, incoming counsel to President-elect Trump, says TikTok has problems, but they can be fixed by the right person.
The right person for that job is President Trump. Unfortunately, Joe Biden is trying to get rid of it very quickly so that President Trump cannot save a platform that is widely used.
The law that requires ByteDance to sell the popular video sharing app or be banned is set to go into effect on January 19th. The suspect in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson is waiving extradition. Luigi Mangione is expected to immediately be taken back to New York City. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WYBC.com.
Steel holiday savings are here. Make room under the tree for gifts at the top of their wish list. Right now, power up the holidays with great deals on long-lasting tools. Find the perfect gift at your local Steel dealer or shop the Steel Holiday Gift Guide at steelusa.com.
Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that will say, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. It's time to hear from you. Kendall and Casey present voicemails.
The phone number, if you'd like to get involved, 317-684-8444. It is the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC, the Thursday edition of your voicemails. We were talking yesterday how Axios had reported, they did an interview with Eric Holcomb, and they asked him what he would change about his response to the pandemic, and his answer was, I wouldn't change a thing. And we did get a phone call about it, and this one, grab your tissue because it's a little hurtful and upsetting.
Yeah, on Governor Holcomb saying he wouldn't change a thing. I wish nothing but the worst for that man. My mother died in 2020 of cancer, and last time I got to speak to her when she was somewhat lucid, it was snowing, and I was standing outside of a nursing home window, and a nurse had to hold a phone up to her. I couldn't hug her, I couldn't hold her, but a nurse had to hold a phone up to her so she could hear me, and I was literally standing outside of her room, out in the snow, and could barely see her through the tinted window. That was the last conversation I had with my mother because of that idiot. And I always say, oh, it's time to forgive. No, I don't forgive. I wish nothing but the worst for that man. I'm sick of all this crap. Sick of Holcomb. I hope he goes away and stays away forever.
Thank you for the phone call. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, people forget that. There was ladies that had to give birth by themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's awful. I mean, there was so much damage done during that time and so much mental health issues.
And this is not California. This is red Indiana with a supermajority.
Right.
This never should have happened here.
And this guy thought it was all okay
And wouldn't change it, Casey.
No, wouldn't change a thing. Lock people down, shut down businesses, close schools, and another example of somebody who couldn't be with their loved one in their time of need. I mean, how does somebody like that ever get closure after an experience like that? He'll never be able to whisper into his mom's ear, "I love you, thank you." That was stripped from him. It was completely taken from him. And we wonder why people are struggling with mental health issues today. You did it, Eric Holcomb, with bad policies and the bad choices. And January can't get here soon enough. Here's a phone call. This one is about Mayor Joe Hogsett.
Mr. Hogsett wants to have IPS completely absorb all the school systems around Marion County. Joe, you've bit off too much now. It's bad enough that you and Touchy Tommy are out there scaring the heck out of women here in Marion County. And now you want IPS to run the schools, including our beloved Prairie Township down here. No, it's not going to pass. All it takes is for taxpayers to drive down the streets in the townships outside the inner city, and mind you, the inner city streets aren't anything to write home about, and think this man that is running the entire county government is going to run the school system. No.
He said that education was our greatest civic obligation, and he said that of the nearly 900,000 residents of Indianapolis, I've sworn an oath today to the 220,151 who are under the age of 18. I ain't running for something. I'm running from something.
Hasn't he ruined enough, dude?
Right now, he wants to get his hands all over education as well.
So we have a press release. It's from the city council. This is from Josh Bain. And he put out a press release basically saying he issued a strong statement today, and this was on December 15th, opposing the potential efforts to consolidate schools in Indianapolis/Marion County under the UniGov system. Recent reports indicate that Mayor Joe Hogsett may push for consideration and consolidation of all public schools that are within Marion County.
Okay. No.
So that means Pike, you'd be IPS. North Central, you'd be IPS.
Another phone call. This one is about Mike Braun and also a message, I believe, to our senators.
I know he was a senator. That's great. I think he was involved locally down near Jasper, Columbus, somewhere. Here's my point. He's talking about now that he's going to run this state like it should be ran and like he ran his corporation, and that's fantastic, right? Here's my real concern is, are the senators going to follow him and take the same idea to Washington? Because if he's going to try to clean up our state, you would think that our senators are going to, under the, you know what I mean, tracing the garment or chasing the garment, I mean, that they're going to bring the same thing when he kind of tries to straighten our state out. I'm awful hopeful that that's what's going to happen. I'm afraid that it's not, and the senators are not going to agree with the governor of our state, and we'll end up about like another at least 35 of them in the United States right now. Hey, thanks for taking my call.
I don't necessarily disagree with him. It feels like when people leave the state, I think that everybody that serves in D.C. should have to be here. We've used Zoom during COVID. We've proven you don't have to be in D.C. You work for us. I think these people, AOC, great example. I think she forgets that she works for the people of New York.
Yeah.
Like she thinks that she works for the federal government, like she's the president or something like that.
Okay, let's get the hot beverage conversation in. We had we talked about Bailey's the other day, and somebody wants to give us another option.
Hi again, Matt, Rob, and Casey. On the discussion of hot beverages for Christmas time or winter time, whatever, you guys mentioned yesterday Bailey's. I'm going to suggest to you go with Carol Ann's. It tastes exactly the same, and it's half the price.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Yeah, he's got a good point. If you want to save some money.
I'd like to be fiscally responsive while drinking. I switched from Heineken's to Miller Lights thanks to Nigel. Boom, save $4 a drink.
Did you?
Yeah, I really did.
Okay. You got a lower price point on that.
That's it.
Yeah, he's right. He's not wrong on that. Carol Ann's is cheaper than Bailey's is. Same guy calling in. He wants to talk about eating food on the holidays.
Once again, not Rob and Roddy with the heavy natties. Long-time listener, definitely not first-time caller. I grew up in the government food lines hungry, swore when I was old enough to make my own money I would never be hungry again. Thanksgiving from that point on was the favorite holiday of all. Now my children are grown, one in Kokomo, one in Fishers, one in Greenwood. Hard to hit all three places at once, so we stayed home this year and did steak, crab legs, and shrimp. I need your help. I've challenged Tony Katz to a brisket cook-off, and he's a big chicken and won't do it. Love your show. Love you guys. Have a good holiday.
What did he say? Steak, crab legs, and shrimp? Yeah. That sounds awesome. Yeah. I want to be invited over. As far as the challenge with Tony Katz, I mean, that man's got a mind of his own, right? We can say, hey, brisket challenge cook-off.
It's too bad you didn't text the dude and your daughter and tell him to bring what that guy asked for back from Maryland.
Right? Bring me some blue crab back from Maryland. I know it would be awesome. So I don't know why Tony doesn't want to do the brisket challenge.
It's too fancy. Too fancy.
It is fancy. Here's a phone call about drones.
Hi, Casey. This is Walter. I have an idea. Let's send 1,000 people out there with their own drones, send them all up, and see what happens. What do you think? Have a great day. Keep up the good work. Bye.
Thank you for the call. Or there's the other side that says, okay, if you're one of these hobbyists, bring them down, and then we'll see what's left.
Or if you're hobbyists, just go hit one of the drones.
Right?
Just run them into each other.
Yeah, and see what happens there. And somebody else wanted to call about the drones. We talked about the report that people were saying that they started getting runny noses and cough and health concerns because of the drones.
Yeah, just calling in, listen to the show today on Wednesday at 10:16. Hey, considering the health problems people are experiencing about the drones and all that, I mean, hell, I'm experiencing that right here in Indianapolis. I mean, watery eyes, stuffy nose, cough. People have been experiencing that since COVID. And regarding the government being a little more honest with us, that'll never happen. They've been lying to us for 100 years or more, and they'll keep lying to us. Bye.
No.
New game. Is it drone or allergies?
Hey, your government doesn't lie to you, do they? No. There's so much transparency going on there. All right, Jerry, are you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Okay, so we had talked yesterday about Destiny Wells throwing her hat in the ring to be the top representative for the Democrat Party in the great state of Indiana. And you had made a comment, and we've actually have the clip that we will play, but let's get to the phone call first. I think it was selective hearing going on here.
Let's do it.
But here's the phone call. Somebody not happy.
Yeah, Casey, I love that you bring on a guy who says veterans, screw them, they're nobody special. Probably just another coward who didn't join like everybody at your friggin' station.
Oh, boy.
I know.
Okay, so he said you're a coward, just like everybody else at the frickin' station. Before you do your thing and address this, let's rewind yesterday. Here was the conversation that Jerry Lopez and I had where we were talking about Destiny Wells and her position on the military.
I as a vet, I hate that she says that's her. To me, that's her most important thing that she can offer. I was a veteran. It's like, who cares?
Yeah.
I hate to say it, and as a vet, that's how I feel. There's being a veteran, the military, it's just a segment of population. You have weirdos, you got racists, you got sexual offenders, you have everybody is in the military. So just because somebody said they were a vet, thank you for your service, but that does not make you a special person. Okay, so no, she just needs to stop that and just realize, look, just go away, Destiny. Go away and enjoy your family. And thank you for your service, Destiny.
Okay, so within that clip, you started off saying, as a vet.
Yep.
And during it,
I hate to say it, but as a vet.
2 more times you said it. Let's go back. Here's the phone call one more time.
Yeah, Casey, I love that you bring on a guy who says veterans, screw them, they're nobody special. Probably just another coward who didn't join like everybody at your friggin' station. I know.
A coward who didn't join.
Okay.
All right, Jerry.
All right, so go. First of all, at least if you're going to call me a coward, have the sack to say your name. All right, so say your name. Start with your name. okay? But let me give you a little bit of background here. I joined in 2000.
You joined what?
I joined the U.S. Army.
Okay.
And in the year 2000, I went to Fort Jackson, South Carolina. My AIT, where you go for your technical training, I was a counterterrorism analyst with a top secret sensitive compartmented clearance, SCI, highest you can get. All right. I went to Fort Meade and got polygraphed and everything. All right. Went to Fort Huachuca for my training. That's in South Arizona. Then my first duty station was at Fort Lewis, Washington. Okay. Now, mind you, I joined in 2000. So let's use our brains here. In 2001, what happened?
Yeah, 9/11.
And I joined as what? A counterterrorism analyst. And I don't know if you're on the YouTube chat, pretty useful as a counterterrorism analyst. Okay. I got out of the military a couple years later, moved to Washington, D.C. I worked at the DIA at Bolling Air Force Base. From there, I went to Fort Belvoir in Virginia, worked in a skiff. That's how I know what that is. I did 2 deployments to Iraq. The first one was at Al-Assad on Western Province. Right after Fallujah, I was with RCT-2 out of California. Came home, said, man, I really want that money again. Went back. The second time was at Kirkuk Air Force Base in the northern province of Iraq and came back home. So I don't know who he's referring to, but it's not me, okay? Not only did I join the service, but I didn't have orders to go to Iraq. I went on my own as a contractor, okay? So while I appreciate you listening to the radio station, I will say this much. I fought for your feelings, and I'm glad I hurt them yesterday. Have a great day.
Nobody is going to say that you're a coward.
Nah.
Jerry, thank you for your service. Thank you for everything you've done for our country. And my favorite part about everything that you just said was the proud look on your daughter's face.
Born
you were saying
at Madigan Army Medical Hospital at Fort Lewis, Washington.
Yeah. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
Oh, man, big time. Hammer and Nigel show this afternoon. We cracked the mic at 3:06. The great Bill O'Reilly will join us. Rob Kendall off the rails, 93 WIBC.
Hey, Rob, did you know that the Social Security Trust Fund is expected to run out of money in less than 10 years?
Casey, I refuse to believe that our government might be letting the public down at large.
Well, according to Barron's, an average couple could lose up to $16,500 every year in Social Security income. Multiply that by 10 or 20 years, and it could easily add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And that's why it's critical you have the right strategy to file for Social Security. Discover how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits with a free, customized Social Security analysis.
It's from Bill Demery. He's your retirement guy in Indy. He's also our retirement guy. We trust Bill, and you can too.
If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis now by calling 317-932-9912.
That's 317-932-9912.
Pat Sullivan here with Michaela of Michaelis. If you have water damage, why should you call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. On call 24/7, 365. We are IICRC certified and will restore your space to pre-loss condition or better. And we work through the entire insurance process on your behalf to make it easy.
Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIX-INDY.
The holiday season is here, and your shopping begins and ends at Premier Arms in Brownsburg. 3754 South Green Street, PremierArms.com. You've got the firearms with Premier Arms, the accessories, all at fantastic prices, new and used firearms, and of course, PA Jewelers, the jewelry store inside Premier Arms with the one-of-a-kind jewelry selection, the diamonds, the gold, the silver, the gemstones, everything you want this Christmas season. Get a gift card today to Premier Arms. It is the gift that they will love this holiday season. PremierArms.com.
Big Joe here for your independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical. This holiday season, if you need them, they'll be there. B+W.com or 317-243-3581. For all your heating, plumbing, and electrical needs, B&W has served Indianapolis since 1961. 243-3581. That's 243-3581. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from your friends at B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer serving Central Indiana.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Is a thing to say.
Here he is from the number one rated Hammer and Nigel program, Jason Hammer in the studio. Can you believe that guy and his phone call calling Jerry Lopez a coward?
And how fitting that I'm wearing the camo hoodie today.
Right. Like, somebody needs to make sure there's a paramedic at that guy's house because the anal bleeding that he's probably suffering right now after what Jerry just did to him on the air, holy hell, that was fantastic.
I know, that was awesome.
Well done.
He deserved it. And I stand by the point that I made about Destiny Wells.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I thank you for your service, but that does not mean you qualify for everything.
Right. Like, go back to John McCain.
There are bad teachers, good politicians, bad politicians, good soldiers, bad.
And just because you may be a good soldier and you served your country doesn't mean you're a good politician.
Right. And thank you for your service. It's an admirable job.
Yeah.
I get it, but
it's a good thing to do. It doesn't mean, like you said, that she's capable of handling everything. It doesn't necessarily mean that she should be lording over taxpayers and making decisions for them.
What does Rob call Destiny? Indiana Beto?
Indiana Beto. Well,
because much like Beto O'Rourke, she runs for every single thing and has a hard time, getting over the hump.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we knew she was going to run for something. It's almost like she needs to be validated with a title. In some regard, lost at Secretary of State, lost at Attorney General. So instead of running against somebody, she's going to try and run to be the Democrat cheerleader of the state.
Well, you know what? She's really good on social media.
She is.
Not very good at anything else, but she's really good at flaming people on social media. So if just owning the conservatives, owning the Republicans is all they're looking for, hell, it's probably their ideal choice, right?
She might be good at social media, but she did not respond to me leading up to the election on if she stood by abortion up until birth. She ignored that for like 30 days straight.
Right. By the way, coming off the heels of that awesome response that Jerry just gave to that troll, I started thinking about this. You know, it's Christmas time, and he got me all fired up about patriotism. There's a very underrated patriotic scene in the movie that does not get talked about enough.
Okay.
So in Christmas Vacation, right?
Just
where
watched
they're
it.
Sitting around the table, and they're having the old aunt say the blessing. You know, great, she died 30 years ago. Well, she stands up, and she starts doing the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
The only person to stand up and put their hand over their heart was Cousin Eddie.
Oh,
now,
yes.
Say what you want about
It's
Cousin
full.
Eddie.
It's full.
He may be, the black sheep of the family, but I don't see anybody else at that table standing up, putting their hand over their heart for the Pledge of Allegiance at that damn dinner table.
Very good point. Very good point. Yeah, Cousin Eddie, boy, I mean, how would you like to have him over?
Rob Kendall says, I'm WIBC's version of Cousin Eddie. Do you buy that? Jerry's laughing, so I think I already know his
so
answer
disrespectful to Cousin Eddie.
We did a video a couple years ago, like a Christmas Vacation promo video with Hammer and Nigel, where I was Cousin Eddie, and I thought I nailed the role.
Yeah.
I'll have to find that video, and I'll put it back up on Hammer and Nigel Facebook and Twitter. But standing outside in my robe on Monument Circle yelling, "It's full!" was a crown achievement in my broadcast career, for sure.
Now, do you have the hat that he wore? I know that hat has a special name, like the Russian whatever hat.
Yeah, it's like the
is.
brown hat with the flaps hanging down. I had that. I had the stogie. I had the beer. Now, it might not have been a Meisterbrow, which I believe is what he was drinking in the film. But, yeah, man, Cousin Eddie, that is the guy that carries that movie. I'm sorry. I love that. What are the other Christmas movies that you have just on in the background? Like, whenever you see that it's on, you turn it on, even if you're just doing laundry, if you're taking care of stuff around the house. Any other ones like that?
Elf. Elf is a go-to in my house.
Yeah, that is a good one. Elf and the Scrooge, IBC makes an appearance in that movie.
Yes.
Do you remember they're sitting around the conference room table and they're watching a promo
The original?
Well, the Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Not the old, like, 1950s.
Well, that is the old one to me.
Yeah, they're sitting around the conference room table and they're watching a trailer for something that they have coming up, and it says on IBC.
Yes.
That's the network that Bill Murray worked at before, he found the true meaning of Christmas.
I read that in Elf, James Caan, the late, great James Caan, hated doing that movie. He thought it was going to be a bomb. He didn't find Will Ferrell funny. Like, he would, engage Will Ferrell during the filming of that movie and go, I just don't get you. I just don't think people are going to laugh at this. Sonny Corleone, like in real life. That's who James Caan is. And then the movie made so much money. They went to the big premiere of it. Everybody in the theater was laughing. Caan looks at Will Ferrell. I told you nobody thought you were funny.
Another one that I like is, it's run 24 hours a day. It's Christmas Story.
Yeah, Christmas Story is
Ralphie.
good. I always hated It's a Wonderful Life. Now, if this makes me the bad guy, then say hello to the bad guy. But any town that puts their faith and their money into some numbnuts that has to tie a string around his finger to remember stuff, you deserve to have your money lost. You deserve to have your money left.
Yeah.
And for all that whining and crying, maybe the world would have been better off without him.
That's the one with George Bailey, right?
Yes.
Lasso's the Moon.
Yes, go ahead and jump. Be my guest.
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
Every time a bell rings, Indiana Beto runs for another office.
There we go. So you've got a big trip coming up. I'm excited for you.
So we're heading down to Key West. I am Florida man. I love we go multiple times a year, but I've never been down to Key West. So it's going to be really cold, really snowy here. And I thought, where can I go?
Let's get warm.
Continental United States, as far south.
That's it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And as a hurricane nerd, I used to watch the live webcam of Key West when the water would come up and hit that barrel. You know the barrel that I'm talking about.
The southernmost point.
Hey, I'm Cuban. That's as close as I can get to get to there. So if you see anybody on rafts,
it's a small swim for Jerry.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
So there's not a lot of beaches on Key West, but is there anything you're wanting to do? Just have some warm weather.
Yeah, just have
cocktail.
some warm weather, drink, hang out with the family. We're going to come back
Get some
here,
key lime pie.
Do the Christmas gifts when we come back, all that kind of stuff. And,
after you're relaxed and tan and...
And by the way, we've had an awesome audition process for people staying at our house because we have people, watching our house. And it's like, all right, you've got your gun, right? You know how to use it, right? All right. So it's been like The Apprentice. I've been, going through like family members that are going to be crashing at the house. So it's been fun.
What do you have coming up today?
Bill O'Reilly is going to join us.
Great.
So it's Bring the Heat Day, apparently. Jerry's bringing the heat.
Yeah.
Bill O'Reilly's going to bring the heat.
That's
Let's
what
go.
we do. Thanks, Hammer. It is the Kendall Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
This Christmas, as you're picking out gifts for loved ones, take a moment to think about the future gift you can give yourself. The gift of a secure retirement. Howard Bailey Financial is here to help you unwrap the possibilities of peace and confidence. With our free retirement toolkit, you'll get practical steps and insights to plan for the years ahead. From saving strategies to planning tips, this toolkit is like a financial compass for your future. And best of all, it's completely free to download. Don't wait until next year to start planning. Text GIFT to 888-262-1104. Download your free retirement toolkit and give yourself the gift of financial confidence this holiday season. That's GIFT to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Howard Bailey Security, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
We've seen that sleep apnea bully stop breathing more than 100 times an hour. But this problem is solvable, and Advent has simple solutions that have been proven to be extremely effective.
Life is a collection of moments that last forever, so make them matter and make them count with a symbol of everlasting love. A diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
It takes everyone in the community working together to create a brighter future. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Visit liveunited.org to learn how you can help.
Coming up in 2 minutes, ahead of his sentencing, Richard Allen is refusing to take part in this part of the process. Plus, a state senator has been demoted by his colleagues at the Indiana State House, and his revenge did not have the effect that he thought it would in Boone County. I'm Kurt Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recyclers Studios after Fox News Radio. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
She's off his case. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The Georgia DA who got President-elect Trump indicted won't be allowed to prosecute him.
A Georgia State Appeals Court rules Atlanta Area District Attorney Fani Willis must be removed from the state's prosecution of President Donald Trump on racketeering charges related to actions taken with Georgia officials following the 2020 election.
Fox's Evan Brown. Willis was under intense scrutiny over a personal relationship with the prosecutors she'd hired for the case. Now, this court ruling does not throw out the indictment. President-elect Trump just told Fox Digital that Willis was corrupt. The case is a disgrace to justice and is entirely dead. His federal election interference case was dropped. Luigi Mangione is on the move from Pennsylvania to New York, waiving extradition to face a murder charge for killing United Healthcare's CEO.
Mangione was sitting there. He was occasionally smiling, looked very relaxed.
Fox's Brian Yennis also reports from outside the court. Mangione is now being flown to New York, not driven.
They want to avoid that media spectacle of a 5-hour drive, potential helicopter shots, maybe people lining the streets. It has been a bit of a circus atmosphere here with about a dozen Luigi Mangione supporters who have come out here with signs.
House Republicans are working on a new spending plan by tomorrow to avoid a government shutdown after they scrapped a bipartisan plan, prompting Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal to say,
you thought you voted for Trump. You didn't actually. You voted for billionaires to run the show.
This after Elon Musk, who will run the Trump Department of Government Efficiency, spoke out against the first funding bill, and so did the president-elect, calling it ridiculous and expensive. After weeks of drone sightings concerning people in New Jersey,
federal aviation officials have issued temporary flying restrictions for almost 24 cities across New Jersey as drone sightings continue, deeming the area's national defense airspace. Each location has a 1 nautical mile restriction, including from the ground up to 400 feet.
That's Fox's Tiny J. Powers. The ban lasts till January 17th. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He's not taking part. It's cloudy and 33 on Monument Circle. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:02. Ahead of his sentencing, the man convicted of killing 2 Delphi girls says he's refusing to take part in a pre-sentence report.
A pre-sentence report helps a judge dig into somebody's background, like criminal history, mental health, and how their crime impacted others. You could think of it as a last shot for leniency. Last month, Richard Allen was convicted of killing Abby Williams and Libby German near Delphi's Monon High Bridge. His attorneys say they'll appeal the conviction. Carroll County prosecutors got the conviction without DNA evidence or a murder weapon. Allen's sentencing is scheduled for Friday. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
State Senator Greg Taylor at the Indiana State House on Wednesday.
My track record speaks for itself. I mean, my chief of staff, female. The finance director, female. The communications director, female.
Taylor denying accusations, more of them, of sexual harassment against female workers of his over the last decade or so. And all 6 women have come forward claiming Taylor made unwanted advances and touched them inappropriately. Taylor was axed as Senate Minority Leader by Democrats and replaced with State Senator Shelley Yoder. Revenge porn is the charge against a man in Boone County. Sheriff's deputies there say Dylan Kinslow threatened a few of his ex-girlfriends and then sent intimate videos and pictures of them to other people. That's a crime in Indiana, and Kinslow was arrested on Wednesday. Congresswoman Victoria Spartz talked to CNN Wednesday, during which she was asked about her decision to step away from committees in the new Congress. She also was asked if she would support Mike Johnson's bid to be Speaker again.
I haven't decided yet. I'll be honest with you. Mike is a very nice human being. He's a brilliant person. Does it have a strength to reform this institution that is broken? I am not sure.
She apparently plans to spend her extra time assisting the Department of Government Efficiency. Tomorrow is game day. Indiana faces Notre Dame in the college football playoff. The forecast calling for cold and maybe some snow. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
One of the joys of working with Radio 1 has been that they actually listen.
How can a partnership with WIBC serve your business?
My name's Jake Stamper. I'm the president and CEO of Sagacity Consulting, a full-service marketing and advertising firm.
Communication.
I choose to work with Radio 1 because I have such respect for their ability to achieve a goal. We have served manufacturers to not-for-profits to retail, and the privilege that we have in working with Radio 1 is that they listen to the problems that we're trying to solve or the goals that we want to achieve, which each one of those very vast clients.
Deliver your message to the audience that matters.
My clients have been extraordinarily happy over the last 20 years with the results produced by Radio 1.
Text BUSINESS to 71007 to take your advertising to the next level.
Radio 1 does a phenomenal job at connecting with the community on every level.
Get results with WIBC.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's full-service jewelry store.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Thursday, December 19th. It's 5 minutes after 11. You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC. My name is Casey Daniels. In for Rob Kendall today, Jerry Lopez is co-hosting. But look who it is, Jerry.
Look what the cat's dropped.
I know. He's on vacation, but he's still making an appearance at the radio station, which is weird because when he's actually working not on vacation, he never comes in. Tony Katz dropping by.
You look fantastic.
Oh, so do you.
Yes,
No,
but we're talking about you right now.
Stop it, kitten.
Well, you look. She called me kitten earlier. I'm like, Boo Bear has been paying attention to the show. This makes me very happy.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing?
Slumming.
Okay, yeah.
Slumming. I wanted to bring some things in for the newsrooms and the people who help the show.
You're passing out Hanukkah gifts, aren't you?
A little Christmas love. Well, pastry. Mostly I'm passing out pastry. Is what it's right there. It's right next door.
Hanukkah and Christmas starting on the same day this year, isn't that right?
Well, Christmas always starts on the same day.
Well, yeah.
Turns out that's a standard. But yeah, Hanukkah starts the night of the 25th. It's super late. Very late, very weird. This does not happen often at all. It's maybe like the third or fourth time I remember.
So my daughter, she celebrates Christmas. Her roommate celebrating Hanukkah. So they're doing a Christmas tree and a menorah. How do you celebrate Hanukkah? What's the big tradition with you and your family?
No pants. The secret to Hanukkah. The secret to Hanukkah is no pants and let everybody see your menorah.
Can I convert?
That's how we do it.
That's
honestly,
that's right up my alley.
You are more than welcome to convert. Just so you know, we are a very selective people.
Okay.
There's a test.
I don't look the part.
I don't look the part either. Yet here I am. You know, no part of me says that guy could probably be an accountant. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So there was a guy. We actually aired it
I'm
during
going to get emails. By the way, send your emails to Rob Kendall at WIBC.
There we go. He'll ignore them in the appropriate order. We aired a phone call during our voicemail segment today, and it was a guy who said that he has challenged you to a brisket cooking challenge, a cook-off, and he said that you're chicken to do it.
No, that's fine. That's fine. He can say what he will. The fundamental problem with challenging anybody to a brisket cook-off is this is a real time commitment. You need time. You need to stay up with it. You need to work it. Then, of course, you're never going to have enough to feed all the people who are now going to want to taste this thing. And third of all, I didn't want to, so I put all that together.
Most importantly, I just want to do it.
I said no.
Takes a lot of time and effort. We're not down for that.
If there was something we could do charitably and do a brisket cook-off and do a competition, I'd be in for that. You know, whether it's us as a station, whether it's something with Eat, Drink, Smoke, and we could do a brisket challenge where we were the judges.
Oh, there you go.
Not so much making. I'd be down.
I bet he's listening right now, so he should get on that.
And in for that. Well, he's going to say you guys should be in for that, and then he would show up and do it. But I think he's also a bit of an attention seeker. Right, he's looking for someone, you know, to
he wants attention from you.
He went to the top, though. He went to the top.
But I don't know if that's what I'm supposed to be doing, right?
I mean, it sounds like a Lopez Thanksgiving. We just want to eat. We don't want to cook.
Right.
Or
Is that a Lopez Thanksgiving?
That's a Lopez Thanksgiving, yeah.
So who makes the food?
My mom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then
so it's good enough for her.
Then I just get a text. It's like, hey, bring drinks, bring dessert.
Bring napkins.
Yeah. Keep it easy for me.
Oh, no one trusts you.
Well, that's fine.
Okay, just make
That's fine.
He's down
sure
with
we
that.
all know.
Yeah, I'm good.
So what is the key to making the perfect brisket?
There's no key. It's
you don't
time.
have one thing like this is the Tony Katz secret.
The secret is love. No, the secret is
sprinkle it with love.
Time.
I do that with everything I cook.
Not the spice. TIME, not THYME. It's time. I do not believe in messing with temperature on brisket. I wrote a book about this. Let's Go Barbecue. Perfect for Christmas. You should order it now, Mr. Lopez. 20 copies for Mom, who makes all that food for you while you do nothing, you lazy bastards.
I love you, Mom. There it is. Paid
Some
for.
things, Tony Katz, can't be rushed. Unless we're talking about a continuing resolution.
Oh, you can rush those all you want.
Yeah. Well, although they've had a really long time, all year, but then at the last minute trying to push this through. Have you been keeping, I know you're on vacation, you're off.
I have.
But let's talk a little politics. Have you been keeping up on this?
I talked about this Monday and Tuesday. That why isn't anybody talking about this?
Yeah.
We knew it was coming up.
Because we've been talking about drones.
Saturdays, all the same. We could do two things at once. No one's talking about this. It was coming up on Saturday. It would be done. Government would get shut down. No one's talking about it. And it was Tuesday morning that they were supposed to see text of the continuing resolution. No one saw it. And people are like, what is this? And then you saw the text and you're like, oh, this isn't good. Not that anybody read all 1,800 pages or whatever.
Well, Vivek Ramaswamy claims that he did. I challenge that and say maybe he just put it through Grok or, Chat GPT and said spit out some bullet points.
Right. Give me the Cliffs Notes.
Nancy Mace also saying that she read the whole thing and how the verbiage on it, not only the incredible amount of spending in it, but that the language has gone completely woke throughout the entire, and let's be honest, it's not a continuing resolution, it's an omnibus bill.
And I think that's a great argument, right? That this is far more than just, well, let's get through 3 more months and we'll put together a budget. The argument that Trump came late to this party, I think, is an absolutely accurate one. And MAGAville may not be happy with that, but it's accurate. You allowed Speaker Johnson to get into the morass, didn't give him any cover. Then the morass is exposed, and you're like, how dare you? I didn't think Johnson would ever be a guy who goes down this road, having spent so much time taking those photos with Trump and with Dana White.
Hanging out.
Look at me.
Hanging out on
the cool kids like me
at the
now.
football game like 2 days ago.
Taking selfies with
Army
them.
Navy game, right.
He was on the plane.
With all them, Vivek, Elon, all those people.
The picture when they were eating the McDonald's. He was
on
there.
the plane.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of mistake in here. And there's also a lot more willingness from Republicans to say we're not going to play the game. Where I think the interesting fight is that when you see Hakeem Jeffries and see the Democrats say, we had a deal, but Trump busted it up once again, Republicans saying, yeah, and good. He's the leader of the party. Why don't you stop it? We're not doing anything you want. Wait, you think you're in the minority now. Wait till we control the Senate. Things gonna get rough. They should have been willing to say, we'll shut it down. We'll keep it open just on the things we've already been doing for another 60 days. But that's it. They should have been willing to shut it down from the beginning. I can't do a math that makes this make sense for Speaker Johnson, considering he was a shoo-in to be the speaker in the next
Well, now
Congress.
that's being called into question.
Of course
Victoria
it is.
Sparks came out and said, I don't know.
Hold on, I'm calling Victoria Sparks into question.
Yeah.
And I like her. She's always lovely to me, but gosh.
So Elon said no new bills before January 20th. Is that something you would support?
Elon Musk is not an
elected
representative.
yeah.
He is not an elected
It feels like he's a
member.
representative of the people at the moment.
No. He's a representative of Elon Musk.
Sure.
And if anybody thinks that Elon Musk is a conservative, they're out of their minds. He has not proven that by any stretch. That he is a believer in free speech, fantastic. That he has made certain moves, I applaud it. Let's see this in a sustained way happen. I want the people speaking to their representatives. I don't want one guy on Twitter somehow leading a band of merry men.
Do you feel like he's trying to bully
massive
people?
Mistake.
Because he's posting like, anybody who votes for this should be primaried, and I will financially back anybody who wants to challenge these people who vote for this bill.
He can do what lots of other people do. He can say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I have no problem with him saying that. I have no problem with a member of Congress saying, here's why I'm doing X, and you can primary me, and you can also kiss my... Just speak directly, honestly, clearly. You don't represent my constituents. My constituents told me this. That's the ball game, Elon. If you got a problem with that, give me your address. I'll send you a copy of the Constitution so you know how it works. And I'm not anti-Elon. I am certainly anti the idea of some mythical figure concept thing. I always find that weird. It's what they did to Obama, and I always found that to be like super cultish ugly.
Yep. So the way that it's written right now, the 1,500 pages, would you support a shutdown?
Oh, I would support not doing this. And if a shutdown comes, so be it. I put this out yesterday on Twitix, which I now call Twitter.
Yeah.
Right? It's Twitter and X. It's Twitix. What did I say? What did I say?
That's a good one.
It's like
you
it's like
said shut it
Latinx.
down.
The only thing worse than no deal is a bad deal.
Right.
Which is the greatest lesson I ever taught myself, and I've tried to drill this into my kids and everyone else.
And that's what I wanted to ask you about. Okay, so Mike Johnson, he came out in September, and he said, we've killed the Christmas omnibus. And then in December rolls around, he's like, let's just do this. We can change it in March. It will be harder for them to unwind this rather than just say no from the get-go.
They play with a couple different realities. If you have shutdowns, if you don't have certain levels of spending, people who are part of your constituencies do indeed go without. We can see this from a military aspect or a couple of others. So that is real and legitimate, and you have to accept that that pressure is coming in that direction. What we have stated in these elections is this has to stop. The very idea of continuing resolution as opposed to budget has to stop. And so it would have been better, going back to Trump, if he had come out a month ago and said, don't do anything. Let it shut down.
Well, that's what they're saying
today. And you
today.
can put it all on him if you chose. But he allowed the process to take place. And there's a bit of throwing Johnson and some other people under the bus here, which he should not have done.
He put himself in a
that
bad
from him.
position. And, going back to Victoria Sparks, she said he didn't even try and talk with any of the moderate Republicans.
Talking about Mike Johnson? Or
Yeah.
talking about Trump?
Mike Johnson. I mean, what can Trump do other than try to influence at this point? Because he's not in there. Officially.
But honestly,
But he is in there,
He's
though.
in there. Three
Yeah.
words on Twitter, right? And he can change the world. I have no problem with a shutdown, though. If you're asking, to start with that, I have no problem.
Because they said the longest shutdown we've ever had is 34 days. It's 33 days to January 20th.
Okay. But you'll have a shutdown even longer than that because it'll still take a bit of time to put something together. The moral of the story is we will survive.
Yep.
The nation will move forward.
I think the most aggravating part for me is GS workers won't get paid, military, but Congress will still get their checks. That's the part that I struggle with.
You can engage any level of provision that you want, and who knows what Democrats will do when pressured. The question is, what will Republicans do? Because they are not on the same page, and they are not on the same page because no one has said to them, you need to be with a 4-person majority on the same page. And this is a concern going into the next Congress that will Trump have an issue corralling these people to some of these topics?
Well, that's what I'm wondering, because I want to challenge the idea that Trump's not completely in there yet, because he's been hanging out with Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson should know how he feels about everything, but yeah, he's still trying to push it through. If he really knew, why would he do that?
Your question, it can't be answered well. And the only thing I've come to is that he was under the impression, because I don't consider the man dumb.
Did he not know what was in the text?
He may have very well known it was in the text and was like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just get it done so you don't create a hassle for Trump, and then we can fix it again when he's in office. I think that was the prevailing wisdom, and no one expected that now to start now.
Backfiring,
right?
Yeah.
And so that is probably it. And this again goes back to where was the backup? So this is now a question of communication and a whole host of other things. And remember, you live by the Trump, you die by the Trump. The first rule of Trumpism is Trump wins, and the second rule of Trumpism is that a deal can always be made as long as it adheres to the first rule of Trumpism.
Yeah. Well, as of yesterday, the U.S. national debt passed $36 trillion, showing no signs of slowing down with a projected $2 trillion deficit for 2025. Tony Katz, it was so wonderful that you came in and hung out.
Where's Roberto Horatio Kendall?
He's on vacation just like you. Both of you working when you're on vacation.
Is he working?
Well, he still has been participating in the Degenerates Next Door podcast, and he's still texting me and still, blasting people on Twitter, X.
Twitix. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Brownsburg deserves it, so.
Oh, that was great on. Yeah.
So I'm fine with that.
Have a great weekend.
Good to see you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah.
Oh,
it is the Kendall and Casey Show. It is 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
Donald Trump has invited President Xi to the inauguration. Your thoughts, Nigel?
It's total power move.
This is what I expect. On the day of the inauguration, he forces President Xi to eat McDonald's. Like when he brought RFK Jr. into his cabinet, has to sit down and eat a Big Mac. Like, wouldn't you love to see President Xi sitting down eating a Big Mac?
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hey, Pastor Nathan from Life Church.
Hey, Pastor Tina from Life Church.
I don't know about you, I'm so excited. Christmas is right around the corner.
You know what? Our Christmas experiences start on December 22nd on Sunday.
Yes, and we have Christmas Eve and Eve options for you too.
That's because people love options.
Well, you don't want to celebrate Christmas without reflecting on what Jesus has done.
Absolutely. So if you go to lifechurchin.com, you can find our times and locations. We hope to see you there.
Many of life's starts begin in a seemingly simple place, your driveway. It's the first commute to that new job, the drive to that first date, the first mile of that long-awaited road trip. And with an auto loan or refinance from Financial Center, you'll find the comfort and reliability you crave as you navigate toward what's next. With fast approvals and local lending, you'll be on the road in no time. Get started at fcfcu.com/auto today. Subject to credit approval and underwriting guidelines.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Guys, what are you waiting for? For that special Christmas gift, let Pierce Jewelers bring that sparkle back into her life with a diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Put on your yarmulke, it's time for Hanukkah. So to celebrate Hanukkah.
So the U.S. Supreme Court is going to hear arguments on January 10th about the constitutionality of a federal law that could ban TikTok unless the Chinese parent company ByteDance sells it. The case will explore whether the law violates the First Amendment. So, oh boy, here we go. TikTok getting banned, not getting banned. Jerry, your daughter is on TikTok, and she was just saying that she used to make money off of TikTok.
Yeah. And like decent money.
Really?
You know, so I say it's sexist because I never made any money off TikTok. But, you know, if you're a pretty girl, people will just give you money, evidently, in this day and age. But this is weird for me, right? So, like, I understand privacy concerns, and especially with a communist government like China, but I don't think it's the country's business or the federal government's business to outlaw legitimate businesses, right? It's up to us to protect our own data, right? If we're going to start going after companies for releasing our data, then let's go after all of them.
It does very much sound like the government picking winners and losers.
100%.
Yeah. So there's 170 million users across the country that are on TikTok. A lot of content creators, they depend on the platform for income, like your daughter, as we just mentioned. And I'm not a legal expert, but a lot of people are saying that this comes down to the divestiture clause, which is like the fourth point in this. It's really not looking good for TikTok. There's a lot of hurdles that they have to go over, but
didn't Mr. Wonderful say he wants to buy it?
Yes, he did, and we're going to get to that in just a sec. But here's some legal speak. This came from CBS.
Is TikTok out of options?
I mean, we're getting there, right? So this is really a last-ditch attempt to temporarily halt the ban. I mean, they went the federal appeal route and lost. So the Supreme Court's really the last legal option available. Now, TikTok is challenging the proposed ban on the grounds of free speech. They're saying it would, quote, shutter one of America's most popular speech platforms the day before a presidential inauguration. ByteDance, that's TikTok's Chinese parent company, they're looking for a decision by January 6th. If the Supreme Court goes with TikTok and halts the ban, that could actually set up a ruling on whether this law is constitutional. If they're able to expedite that, we could get that within a few months. If the Supreme Court says we're denying this request, that January 19th ban sticks. And I've been talking to legal experts. They say that First Amendment grounds is kind of shaky because we do all have access to other social platforms.
We do, and Congress did pass this law, and the president didn't sign it, so that's the constitutional process. But if the Supreme Court denies this appeal, could TikTok be sold? Could somebody buy it off of the Chinese hands and therefore operate it in the U.S. legally under the law?
So yes, but this would be super challenging. Okay, so I used to work in mergers and acquisitions. A deal of this size, it takes months, if not years, to execute. By the way, you're going to need governmental approval. So let's say Meta, for example, wants to buy it. That might make strategic sense, but you'd have antitrust issues. And ultimately, the draw here is the algorithm, and ByteDance says they don't want to sell it.
So Trump has expressed his views on this, and he possibly, he said he might save TikTok during his campaign, and TikTok has warned that a month-long shutdown will result in the loss of about a third of its U.S. daily users that have revenue tied to this. There's many businesses, and people are clamoring that the Supreme Court is not taking that into consideration.
Doesn't the Supreme Court have more important things to worry about than TikTok?
Well, you'd think so. Here is Donald Trump talking about TikTok.
How do you plan to stop the ban on TikTok next month?
Who?
How do you plan to stop the ban on TikTok next month?
We'll take a look at TikTok. You know, I have a warm spot in my heart for TikTok because I won youth by 34 points. And there are those that say that TikTok had something to do with that. Now, Joe Rogan did, and some of the other people that were recommended by my son Barron, he knew names. I said, who is that? Tell me, who's that? Dad, you got to be kidding. I can't believe you don't know. And I did those interviews, and it was actually sort of cute. Do you want to know the truth? But we did them, and that had an impact. But TikTok had an impact, and so we're taking a look at it. But, you know, we won youth. Republicans are always 30 points down in youth. I don't know why, but we ended up finishing. There was one poll that showed us down about 30. We were 35 or 36 points up with young people. So I have a little bit of a warm spot in my heart, I'll be honest, yes.
So TikTok has insisted that it's not for sale, and they cited the tight divestment deadline, which was pointed out just moments ago that that's a really tight deadline to get that sort of thing. But the big thing that China says they don't want to do is they control the algorithm. And that is what they're not willing to give up. It's not even so much the platform.
That's the most important thing.
Right. I mean, it's they'd be giving over the,
how it shows up. So the algorithm, you ever looked up sweaters and now everything is sweaters? Or you get into an argument with your husband and you click on something and now everything is like depressed memes, or that's the algorithm, right?
Yep.
It's how you find stuff. Now, there's a rumor, and I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that the TikTok that's available in China is different than our TikTok.
Yeah.
That their TikTok teaches them stuff.
Right.
And our TikTok is just for 10-second dopamine hits.
Yeah. And I've read an article that says every 7 videos that you watch on TikTok is intentionally a mood changer.
I believe it.
Whether it's a high or a low. And it does seem like, well, that if that is the sort of national security threat, it's mind manipulation.
Yeah. You're basically social engineering the youth to crave these dopamine hits. Boom, 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 boom. And not only that, but now we have 10-second time frames. That's why YouTube Shorts and TikTok, those do the most numbers. Nobody's going to sit down. Besides radio like this, long-form radio, nobody really sits down and listens to hours of conversation. Doesn't happen.
Yeah. So there's a rep who says that it's a potential win-win if Trump can broker a deal. Not only will it balance national security, but also TikTok's value. But they still keep claiming that it's coming down to the First Amendment versus national security. And the Supreme Court taking this up. Ban or sell it.
Does a Chinese company have rights like that?
It's an interesting question.
Like we have,
I mean, you think no?
Right? Yeah, I would think you don't.
They can't argue First Amendment because they're not covered under it.
Yeah, you're not even a U.S. company.
Well, how will Trump affect any TikTok outcome?
Not a lot, to be honest. The justices are going to look at what's in the legal briefs, not what Trump is saying on Truth Social, right? They're going to focus on the legal arguments here, which doesn't mean that President Trump won't have any options. Right now, the Biden administration is defending this law. It's an act of Congress. It's the government's job to defend it. President Trump could tell his Department of Justice, hey, back off, we're not going to defend that. In which case, I would expect, I mean, the court wants to hear why this is lawful. They would appoint an outside lawyer. So there's a chance, but bottom line, the justices don't really care what President Trump's personal view is.
And if indeed it's a First Amendment versus national security argument, any early sense of how the justices might rule?
Yeah. So the biggest key is that the lower court was completely unanimous in rejecting the First Amendment argument. What they see is this is, to the extent this control or this regulates free speech, it's of a foreign company. Foreign companies don't have free speech rights.
There you go.
They're far more likely to say there's a real national security concern. Yeah. This is what Congress can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's their job.
It seems like the logical conclusion here is it's either going to be banned or they're going to have to sell it. I know all the people on TikTok right now are like, "Oh, the Supreme Court's going to hear the case." I don't really think that that's going to do anything.
Somebody in the YouTube chat said it's Pavlov's experiment on humans instead of dogs.
Yeah. That's not a bad analogy. You had mentioned that Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, wants to buy it. We're going to talk about that coming up on 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
She's been removed. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:30. The Georgia district attorney who got President-elect Trump indicted has been disqualified from the case. A state appellate court removed Fani Willis from Trump's 2020 election interference case. Trump's lawyers had asked for Willis to be disqualified over her relationship with special prosecutor Nathan Wade. State House Democrats have new leadership as more accusations of sexual harassment have surfaced against State Senator Greg Taylor. 6 women have now accused Taylor of inappropriate behavior.
I'm denying everything that has been alleged that I have not talked to my caucus about. My caucus knows everything that I've talked to them about.
He was removed as state Senate minority leader by Democrats on Wednesday. Bloomington Senator Shelley Yoder was given that job. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey, Rob, did you know that the Social Security Trust Fund is expected to run out of money in less than 10 years?
Casey, I refuse to believe that our government might be letting the public down at large.
Well, according to Barron's, an average couple could lose up to $16,500 every year in Social Security income. Multiply that by 10 or 20 years, and it could easily add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And that's why it's critical you have the right strategy to file for Social Security. Discover how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits with a free, customized Social Security analysis.
It's from Bill Demery. He's your retirement guy in Indy. He's also our retirement guy. We trust Bill, and you can too.
If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis now by calling 317-932-9912.
That's 317-932-9912.
The holiday season is here, and your shopping begins and ends at Premier Arms in Brownsburg. 3754 South Green Street, PremierArms.com. You've got the firearms with Premier Arms, the accessories, all at fantastic prices, new and used firearms, and of course, PA Jewelers, the jewelry store inside Premier Arms with the one-of-a-kind jewelry selection, the diamonds, the gold, the silver, the gemstones, everything you want this Christmas season. Get a gift card today to Premier Arms. It is the gift that they will love this holiday season. PremierArms.com.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, and in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
If you've been putting off holiday shopping, you're not alone. But the holidays are next week, so it's time to kick things into high gear. Macy's Holiday Countdown Sale is here to make last-minute shopping easy with great deals on top gifts like cozy hat, scarf, and glove sets from Coach, Kate Spade & More for $49.99. Boxed up and ready to give. Easy. So if you haven't gotten to everyone on your list yet, don't be too hard on yourself, but do shop Macy's ASAP. These deals end tonight. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
From sugar cookie crumbs in the kitchen to pine needles under the tree, count on Steel for Christmas cleanup made easy with the SEA20 battery-powered handheld vacuum. Now just $99.99. Power up the holiday and give a gift from the top of their wish list. Visit your local Steel dealer today or shop online at steelusa.com. Was $159.99 MSRP. Includes battery and charger. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Express the heartwarming message of Christmas this year. Let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that special moment that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Here is Jiffy Lube of Indiana's COO, Lonnie Hinkle.
Lots of Hoosiers belong to unlimited car wash programs because they want their car to look great. At Jiffy Lube, we're here to help you make sure your car runs great. So to help take care of your car inside and out, Jiffy Lube is offering everyone who belongs to a monthly car wash program a $20 discount and a free tire rotation from now through the end of the year. Just point out your car wash sticker and we'll do the rest. My Jiffy Lube teams are maintenance experts. Our computer system provides all of the manufacturer's maintenance recommendations for every make and model of vehicle, so we know exactly what every car needs to operate at its best. Jiffy Lube is your trusted one-stop shop for all that your car needs to run well for many years. You never need an appointment, and we now offer brakes, tires, tune-ups, and minor repairs at most stores. So stop in on your way to the car wash, save $20, plus get a free tire rotation just for belonging to a monthly car wash program.
Jiffy Lube. Nobody does it better.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC.
Supreme Court is going to hear arguments over the law that could ban TikTok in the U.S. if it's not sold. And Malia is in the studio. She is Jerry Lopez's daughter, and you've been here this whole time. So very patient of you. But you had mentioned off the air that you're on TikTok, and you actually have made money by being on TikTok. How have you done that? Have you been selling a product or teaching a lesson? How exactly were you making income?
So what I would do is basically, there's like multiple different ways people do it. You could sell a product, go live.
Mm-hmm.
But I would just go live and like talk. And then people would just come in and basically just send gifts.
So just by talking,
yeah,
verbalizing yourself, people would send you money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't want to be inappropriate. You are an adult.
Yeah.
You were completely clothed while you were talking.
100%.
This wasn't anything inappropriate.
No.
Okay.
No. My little sister
it's
would be
mind blowing. It's literally just her.
My little sister would be in my lives with me. Like it would be like I would make so much money. Like it would be I'd make $500 in like 10 minutes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
And I would not be doing anything.
What were you talking about?
Life. People would just come in and ask for advice, or I'd have little girls. Yeah, it was just like random.
So you weren't doing hair tutorials or like
no booty dancing,
No, I would just sit there.
No fit checks.
Nope.
No, I would sit there on the floor. That's what I would do.
So it was just people looking for company.
Yeah.
You were like a big sister role.
Friend. I had a lot. It was older people too. Like it was all ages. People just sometimes need someone to talk to. Like it would never be anything inappropriate either.
I think post-COVID, people just had that social anxiety. And I think a lot of people are just moving online, right? So kind of like my son plays a lot of video games. Some of his best friends, he's never even met. Right?
Yeah, because they do it online.
Online. So I know you from Modern Warfare or whatever. So I think it's along the same lines.
That's what were the topics that you would talk about?
It could be anything. Like I'd have girls like just come in and be like, "Hey, what are you doing today?" Or like, "Hey, do you work?"
And how did you get the money? What did they Venmo it to you, or is it through the TikTok app?
It'd be Cash App and then through TikTok.
Okay. And did TikTok ever pay you money?
I have a video that has about 14 million views right now. They haven't yet, but once I hit a certain amount of followers, they will.
Do they take a percentage of the
A very small one.
That is so incredible to me. Now, are you still continuing to do this?
No, not as much. Like I'll go live every now and then, but it's more of like very small. I work majority of the time, so now I bartend.
You don't have the time to do it. Do you make more money bartending than you did on TikTok? Okay.
Yeah.
So this was just kind of a supplemental thing.
Yeah,
something you
I
did
was
for
serving.
fun.
I was serving and in school at the same time as doing TikTok.
But just imagine the hustle. You can just get on TikTok, make $500.
I was. It would be either I would scroll on TikTok or I'd be live on TikTok. It was like the same thing.
Yeah. Okay, so you're 22 years old, and you clearly you're on the app. Have you? All your friends, they're all on the app too, or
most of my friends do not know about this account.
Oh,
because I'm not under like my actual name.
Yeah.
So people have figured it out now because it's blown. I had a video that blew up, so everybody's like, "Oh, it's."
We saw you. You showed
yeah,
up in
you and your mom.
Yeah.
Or like I saw your video on Instagram, and I'm like, "Oh, okay," but yeah.
And Jerry, now I have asked you off the air as well if you have the same views as your dad, leaning conservative, and you said, "Yeah,
I do.
You do." Was there any worry for either of you about the national security threats or her being subjected to inappropriate material?
I wasn't worried about the national security stuff as much as the weirdos, and also her not feeling pressured to have to like show your butt or do inappropriate things, right? Because in today's age, once that's out there, it's out there.
Right.
Like 10 years now, 15 years from now,
it's
somebody
online forever.
might pull out your video, right? So it's kind of like teaching her, when I found out she was doing it, we had very serious conversations.
Yeah.
And just don't lie to me, right? I want you to win, but you have to be honest with me.
And how do you feel about the possibility of it going away? Is your world crushed, or are you like, whatever?
It is what it is. I feel like people now are just addicted to it. So it's like, I am. I scroll on it all the time.
Really? How
If
many hours a day do you think you spend on TikTok?
I probably.
Oh, she can check.
I can check.
It's probably some absurd number.
Do you think it's more than 3 hours
a day?
Yeah.
I bet you it's more than 5 hours.
Is it your go-to app? Are you always like?
I bet I can check. How do I check?
So when I open up social media, I go to X first.
Me too.
And that's mostly for the radio show. I'm prepping, getting stories, try to figure out, is this legitimate or not? Is this AI? Is this a reputable source? Or, who knows?
Right.
Now, because even when it's mainstream media, half the time they're lying to you. But just trying to sort through all that. And then I'll check Facebook, and then I'll check Instagram, and then TikTok just to see, what's going on. Is it the first one that you go to automatically?
Yeah.
Are you on any other platforms?
I have Instagram. I'm mainly on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
I like Facebook.
So it would be TikTok, then Facebook.
Yeah. Or Instagram.
And what about YouTube? Does that fall in the same category?
Not as much anymore. I feel like when I was younger, yeah. But now it's like Netflix. if I'm watching anything.
So you use YouTube as more of a long form video.
Yeah.
And what is it about TikTok that you like?
I mean, I feel like
besides the money,
the dopamine hits. That's what it is, right? Like,
no, I mean, with TikTok, you never know what you're going to expect. It could be anything.
You never know what you're going to
You really never know.
Right. It could go from a funny joke to a political commentary.
And there's so many different countries and
dog
different
or cat
people on
videos.
it.
Depends on what the Chinese people want you to see.
So this week, I spent 16 hours on TikTok.
16 hours?
And it's
16
Thursday.
hours.
So it's about...
This past week.
Okay.
Last week.
Yeah. Out of 35 hours on my screen.
So
more about half your time is spent on TikTok.
Spent on
Yeah.
TikTok.
And that's just scrolling. That's not even lives anymore. That's just scrolling.
Now, are you mentally prepared for the fact that this may be going away in a couple weeks?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do with your time? That's a lot of time.
Work.
Yeah?
Work. Yeah.
Just
work and go to the gym and do stuff outside.
I've seen a lot of people that actually have said that they're okay. People who use it, like you, who are on it, enjoy it. And they say, you know what, if it goes away, I'd be okay with that because I do spend so much of my time on it.
I think that's the only way that some people will stop being on it, right? Like, I'm probably in the same boat with X, right? I probably, if you looked at my X time, and I don't think it keeps track, I only go to X and I basically live on there, right? So it's, I go there for my news, my funnies, everything goes from X. If it went away, it'd be weird.
I think one of the big differences between those two platforms is with X.
It's the newspaper.
It's the newspaper, but you can determine in a way what you want to receive.
Yeah.
Because based on who you follow.
And who they follow.
Correct.
Yeah.
Whereas TikTok, you're being fed stuff and you don't have a choice.
So you pull up a video and they keep track of how long you stayed on that video.
Yeah, it's like 1.6 seconds.
Yeah.
5 seconds. You watch the whole video.
Show her the 5-second videos. Show her what falls into this category. And they start curating it.
And do you notice if you, what is it? You have to do all the things on the column. If you like it, if you comment, or if you forward it.
And you can follow.
You get fed more videos like that.
Exactly. But
and
I
you
also
see that
think,
happening.
Well, yeah. Once you follow somebody, your whole account is blown up with their videos.
With
like
that.
I noticed that with any account. I mean, I could follow any account. It could be a food account.
Are you very choosy on who you follow because of that?
I don't really follow accounts like majority of the time. It's just liking them or like laughing and like showing him.
Okay, well, thank you for participating.
Yeah.
That was
having me.
Giving us a lot of insight. Mr. Wonderful, he has considered buying TikTok. The clock, the clock is ticking on TikTok. It's got to be owned by an American company by January 19th, or it does face being shut down. Possibly. We'll see what the Supreme Court does say. But here is Mr. Wonderful and his thoughts on it.
I have a warm spot in my heart for TikTok because I want youth.
That was Donald Trump. It's cut number 21, Kevin.
I don't think Trump's going to ignore the fact that Congress, on a bipartisan basis, has claimed that this is Chinese spyware, and it is, and they're going to shut it down Jan 19th. And I'm one of 5 groups that are interested in buying it, and so this idea that it's about freedom of speech has nothing to do with it. Congress order simply says sell it to an American-controlled entity, and you can maintain it. So it's not about freedom of speech, it's about Chinese spyware. I set up wondertiktok.com. Anybody can go there, and I have to disclose that it's a giant crowdfunding effort because I want the 7 million business owners that know me, and this is a real Shark Tank platform. We all use it. I want them to be shareholders beside me, and so they can, if they wish, indicate their interest at wondertiktok.com. But this is Chinese spyware, and in India a few years ago they shut this down. There was a kerfuffle for 5 days and everybody forgot about it. So if they don't sell this thing, they're going to shut it down.
Okay, so he says he wants to turn it into a platform where the user data is protected from the prying eyes of foreign adversaries. And he went on to say it's time to make TikTok wonderful.
What stops a U.S. business from maybe not buying it, but starting their own? Right? I mean...
Well, right. There is talk of different platforms launching. I think there's one called Neptune. They're trying to be just like TikTok, only they say they want to enhance some of the things that people complain about TikTok and make it just even better. But again, it's that Chinese algorithm that makes all the difference. And that's the one part of TikTok that China doesn't want to let go of. Even if they brokered some sort of deal with another company, are they going to let that proprietary...
Do you think it's because they don't want to let go of the technology, or they don't want to let us know that our TikTok is different?
Yeah. Well, we already do know. So I think it's that, that technology they don't want to get rid of. You are listening to the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
Tonight on the Tony Kinnett Cast, we dig into the absolute mess on Capitol Hill and maybe a little bit of a giveaway for our listeners. See you at 7 p.m.
Joyner Homes has been building truly custom homes in Central Indiana for 18 years. They can build anywhere that you can bring a builder or on your own private lot. They make it easy to build your dream home with an in-house team of architecture and design specialists. First step, visit joinerhomes.com. Check out floor plans, pricing, locations. You can even start from scratch. The design studio is where you pick out all the fun stuff, all the coolest stuff in one spot. And they're with you every step to ensure you stay on budget. That's joinerhomes.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today. Today.
Breathe in the wonder and joy of Christmas, where the extraordinary often shines through the ordinary moments, through kindness, care, and compassion. At Franciscan Health, we provide care rooted in faith, love, and dignity, and believe life is a gift and every moment is extraordinary. So take a breath and give thanks as we celebrate the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Merry Christmas. Franciscan Health. Love your extraordinary life.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show.
When retirement comes about, we're now relying on what we have saved to meet those needs.
Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
Lousy well water? You just can't find anybody better than the pros at C&J. Great systems and great people, too. Call C&J at 317-852-WELL.
And his goal is to make funerals more festive, blending mourning with merriment and different reception price packages that they want to do, like $5 to $6,000 and
top shelf.
Yeah, and then you can go all the way up to $10,000, and they want to be able to sell beer, wine, and hard liquor for on-site consumption, and apparently serving alcohol at funeral homes is becoming a little more common. Some other states are doing this. Minnesota and Rhode Island have adopted similar practices. This does not surprise me at all as somebody who was born in Ohio, the Buckeye State. Have you ever been through a beer drive-through warehouse?
Didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah, okay, so this is the thing in Ohio where you literally stay in your car and you pull up, they open the gate, you drive through like a car wash, and there's refrigerators on the side, and a person will come up and walk, hey, what do you want? And you could say,
case of whatever.
I want a case of Coors, and they'll bring it to you and then swipe your card and you drive off.
Are you allowed to start drinking it as you're...
Well, you're not supposed to do that in any circumstance, but that's the thing that they've got going on in Ohio. I don't know. We'll see if it happens, if they actually get this done and they get their license.
Entrepreneurship is alive and well in the United States.
Yeah, apparently. Speaking of entrepreneurship, you were talking about Fartcoin.
Oh, this is crazy.
This is a crypto, and it's grown in value over the past week to $800 million. It's equal to it's what? It's capitalization.
Yep.
It's equal to Office Depot, Guess Jeans, and also the parent company of Steak and Shake.
Yeah. So this is all influencer based, right? So
Fart coin?
Yeah, it's just some make-believe thing, and it has no utility, a.k.a. you can't actually use it anywhere.
So this isn't a meme crypto.
Yeah, it's same deal. Same deal.
Okay,
So
it is a
basically,
meme
you want to
crypto.
get this crypto when it first came out, probably cost decimal, 7 zeros, and then like 2.
Okay.
Right? So you put $50 in there, you get a cajillion of these, and if it goes to 0.4 zeros in a 2, which is still half a penny, you've made a ton of money, right? So the issue with this is, you see the Hawk Tuah girl? She just got in trouble.
Well, she did. And you know what? I actually was going to bring that up because ever since she got in trouble,
she's gone.
Exactly.
She's disappeared.
She hasn't, because she had that podcast,
Yep.
Talk to Her.
Yep.
And she hasn't been on any social media. Her
So-
podcast hasn't been released in the
So
past
her
couple
coin,
weeks.
Hawk coin, right? Same thing. Off influence, no
Yeah.
utility, can't use it anywhere. She's pushing it. Decimal, 7 zeros, whatever. What she didn't say is that her company owned 50% of the coins, right? So when she pushed this coin to all her people and it moved to 0.4 zeros and something, she sold all of her coins allegedly and tanked the price completely. $53 million gone.
That's incredible.
And guess what? There's no regulation, so you're just SOL.
Well, there's not currently.
There
but,
will be.
Trump wants to appoint a AI and crypto czar.
Yeah. We should have one.
Well, if people are sinking their life savings into it.
But the issue with crypto is the reason that people like it is because it's not regulated. So
It's
now
the
you
wild,
have
wild
the
west.
issue. Yeah.
That's what they like about it. That's why they're putting so much money into it. So Rob and I reference this often. It was New Year's Eve of 21 to 22. I put $100 into Ethereum, and it fluctuates. At one point, it got all the way down to $37. Now it's up to today. I'm sitting at $81.01. So I just did it for fun, just to see what happens to this. Of course, fingers crossed, hoping one day it's worth $1 gazillion.
So
It's
my son,
not.
my
I've
son
only
bought
lost
one.
$19.
My son bought one called Cybro, and he got it. I think he put in $44, and now he said he had $540.
Okay.
No utility, can't use it at all. And it's
Right.
like, bud, when do you jump off the ride? Because if everybody else jumps off 1st, you're holding a bunch of coins that are worthless.
Is he trading crypto? Is that like a thing that he's doing?
every day. Yeah, he loves it.
Every day.
Yeah.
It's so interesting that your kids who, and I've asked them, and they say, no, we're all conservative.
Yeah.
We believe what
My
Dad
mom's
believes.
from Cuba, dude. Like
Yeah.
we're staunch conservative.
But they're finding these different ways that they're making money. Like, for example, your son, crypto, your daughter just talked about how she's had an income.
This is America.
off of
This is why I
TikTok.
say America's the greatest country in the world. Like, the reason you do, I knew I was conservative before I knew what conservative was.
Yeah, same.
Right? Like, if you didn't, my mom taught me, if you didn't get it, it's because you didn't work hard enough.
And you've also made a comment when we were talking about the president from Argentina.
Yep.
That I asked you something about what he was saying because it was in Spanish, and you said, I didn't come to this country
To speak Spanish. I didn't come to this country to work hard either.
Yeah, you came to speak English.
That's it.
Thank you so much for filling in for the past couple days.
I've had a blast.
Good. I'm glad. It's been fun having you here. And thank you to your daughter, too, for participating. Kevin, good job today. Thank you. And thank you for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with Ethan Hatcher. This has been the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com.
If you want a 100% complimentary stay at a luxury resort in Cancun, airfare not included, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. See website for complete details. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now. 800-428-7054. 800-428-7054. You're also eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $398. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. And you get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $398. What are you waiting for? Call 800-428-7054. 800-428-7054 and give us your answer.
The preceding is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and not sponsored by this program or its affiliates.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. The year-end clearance event is now through Monday. Save 50% off all. In stock and special order Lazy Boy and Smith Brothers with extra discounts for cash and 12 months interest-free financing. That's every sofa, recliner, sectional. Plus, get a free large Big Green Egg with select Tempur-Pedic and Stearns & Foster mattresses. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus with free delivery.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
We set out to be the very best of the best, and past couple years we've actually achieved that. For all of the state of Indiana, we've been awarded the Dealer of the Year award twice now. Unlike other brands, that only gets handed to one dealer every year, and we're very proud to have won that twice.
Put the best to work for you at FamilyHVAC.net. Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Life is a collection of moments that last forever, so make them matter and make them count with a symbol of everlasting love. A diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
On the level, on the go. 93